Last session, we had ourselves a little bit of a gunfight. Well, gunfight and arrow fight, guns and arrows fight.
Yeah, and psychics fight.
We
had a fight.
Yeah. And
I'd like to counter that. I'd say we were ambushed. I don't what resulted from that was not a fight.
Gunfire was, I can't even say exchanged.
Fired.
Yeah, it was fired. Guns were fired.
Yep.
Swords were drawn.
fired.
Mm-hmm.
But it seems a little disingenuous to say the result of that was a fight.
It was kind of a reverse firing squad situation.
Yeah.
Now, they were dangerous enough that two of our crew had to gang up to take one of them down. Granted, those two were Asta and Dog, but still.
Yeah.
Well, we'll instead we'll call it a clue delivery ambush.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Clue delivery.
Why do all of our clues keep dying? Because you shoot them and explode them.
One of them didn't die.
Yet. Give it time. We got an entire session.
So yeah, that was there was a scene wherein bodies exploded and got filled with holes, unrelated to any kind of fight or combat engagement. And one of them had a poison pill, but you were able to take their weapon. I believe you only took the weapon, right? Or did you take their body also? Oh, you took their body
Took a
also.
number of bodies.
took
Yeah,
my
yeah.
body.
Because remember, I had to cook up a fridge for the to get off the ship as we were going through inspection.
Yeah.
We didn't want to.
I don't think the bodies are actually going to be useful for us.
Well, you had taken them to try and kind of last memory them, or speak with the dead, speak with dead with them.
Right. I was considering
Well-
doing that, but I don't think it's necessary at this point.
I think we got what we needed from the katana.
Yeah. You found that the katana was tied very strongly to a memory, and followed that memory back down to Shinobu. Oh, I got ahead of myself. This engagement, which was not a fight, was stressful enough on the party and your ability to move about that it actually got Kana to teleport down to Shinobu. A risky maneuver, not that risky for Kana, but still a risky maneuver. And yeah.
It's going to be interesting seeing what the law enforcement says about the gunfight that everyone heard, but there was just blood splatters as a result of.
Now, you didn't get all the bodies. You did leave some.
Never mind. Yeah, blood in a few bodies. There's probably more blood there than should come from that many bodies, right?
Oh yeah, and it's not like their investigators are incompetent. They will be able to figure out that yes, there's more that happened here than they can immediately see.
I mean,
Fantastic.
given what happened to one of them, that might kind of...
Bit hard to tell. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jesus.
And found that there had been a plot to assassinate the associate of Sarah Bramford, who is on your ship as Elise.
Blood and body singular. The rest is soup. Thank you, Nox. That's horrifying.
Alright, you also got the word from Shiro on what he wants done, and you negotiated for a little bit of extra.
You're going to have that work done over the next couple days, I believe.
And I believe we went through all the most likely ways that one of our asylum seekers would get caught. Seekers, is that the right term? I'm not sure.
No, I don't think it would be. They're, I mean, I guess they're seeking asylum on the Raza.
One of our people who has reason to not want to be seen in Shinobu.
Yeah. Alright, well, with did I miss anything in the recap there?
I feel like something else happened right at the end of the session. Remember what exactly though?
I think the very end was the memories, wasn't it?
Yeah, the very end was us discovering that Leoka Chen contracted someone in the INF as well as, or blackmailed someone in the INF as well as contracted a number of other ninja to hunt down us and Elise.
Which is fun and cheery.
Yeah.
And definitely not something that we need to be terrified of.
I mean, the question there was, what do we want to do about it? She was acting against the Emperor and Dragon General there, so...
I'm gonna bring this into frame now that I do believe that has hit all the points of the recap.
Oh, Dex, right before you bring it into frame, someone update the number. I've done it the last twice.
I can still bring the stream into frame. I'll leave you on the screen for a minute.
Fair. That's fair.
3468.
I thought about that, too obvious, but up to you. Or possibly Lulu, depends who gets here first.
2467.
And
And it's a terrible 7.
I can't believe it's been more than 2,000 sessions since we were level 9 and we still haven't hit level 11.
Yeah.
Weird.
I'm starting to think that XP just stops when you hit 10.
I'm starting to think our counter doesn't work.
What are you talking about? The counter is flawless.
Alright, I'm gonna move you guys over to the ship screen, unless you want to go to the journal. You know what? I'll put you on the journal first, just to revisit it.
Okay. I have just remembered that I have an unspent skill point.
You
Yeah,
still
so
have
we're
an
supposed to
unspent skill.
argue over what you spend it on.
Yeah.
Obviously, you're joining the band.
I don't think that's an obviously.
No, I think it's obvious.
How so?
It just is. I don't make the rules. I just enforce them.
I'm not gonna lie, upon further consideration, I do feel like getting no 0 is the most obvious thing. Like, it's just a very good multi-purpose skill, you know?
Knowing things. Ridiculous.
Isn't your entire job about knowing how to do things?
Yeah, that's why I have a no +1.
Yeah.
Oh, what did I do? Oh, that's right. I went to shoot +1 and no +1.
Okay, so I haven't listened to the log or the VOD for last session, partly because I thought we weren't playing today.
Oh dear.
And I know that there was an up negotiation with the Disrupt Tiamat plan, but I can't remember the exact details. Aside from it's
I do know. So
I think I got it for you.
the up negotiation was essentially there was going to be an inspection of the ship. That was what they got out of it.
Was the
The
big
drawback,
thing.
yeah.
Yep.
Right. And in return, they will pay the full costs of the upgrading the engine to drive 6.
Right, and the other cost of that was it isn't just 500,000 of free money, it's 500,000 plus, but only towards the drive.
Yes, but that's what we were spending it on anyway, so it's not really a
Yeah.
downside.
We were going to do exactly that, so that's fine.
Yeah. Right, and that's actually why Kana and not Kana, Kana and Kami went with Virgilia, I believe, to get them off the ship.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
That's correct.
Okay. Restricted spending. All right. Got it. You guys done with the journal page? Anything you want to do on here?
It has reminded me of a thing that we were talking about previously, but I haven't for a while, which is we have not talked with Machine about the fact that we have his memories of his previous life on our little chip, and
Oh
he
yeah.
has not really expressed much interest in it.
He is not.
Huh.
No, I don't believe he was still on the ship when you discovered those.
Yeah, but we mentioned it to him, I think, haven't we? Like we talked about some of his
No.
memories from it. Anyway, yeah, it sounds like what I'd do given those circumstances.
We haven't talked to him about it at all.
Mm-mm.
Oh, okay. I thought we had.
Nope. I've mentioned it a couple times. Like, should we bring that up? And then it's just like, nah, not right now.
I thought we told him some of the stuff from his ship, and he went, "Yeah, it sounds like what I'd do in those circumstances." Remember, I expressed surprise that, oh well, that's kind of treasonous to what he currently is, but he's saying that he would do it in that video.
Nope, that
Not my
was your method of convincing him that your presentation of multiple cycles and time resets was accurate.
Okay, yeah.
Because you had information from what he did in cycle 2.
Okay. That's what I'm thinking of. Right, yeah.
Now,
see,
giving him the memories has come up in discussion before, and that's actually what prompted, I believe, it was either Elise or Percy to send the message to him saying we need to talk, and that's what he responded to about come back when you've got fangs.
Yeah. Okay.
But no details given.
We should then probably discuss it before we go. I was gonna say we'll come back after the Tiamat thing, and like we can talk about it then. Because the thing that feels the least morally skeezy is just offer the chip to him, or offer him access to the chip. Obviously, I don't know if he has the facilities to read it, probably. But like we don't want to go, oh yeah, we're holding your memories, we'll bargain them back to you. We don't want to do that. But that feels like a generating goodwill thing, and we're already kind of generating goodwill here.
So
kinda.
maybe think of it as a quid pro quo sort of deal. Like, here, out of the generosity of ourselves to seal our agreement, we'll give you this out of the goodness of our hearts, and we won't say anything. But it should be clear that, return some sort of favor at some point.
Yeah. See, just because we're doing an exchange of favors right now, it will feel like this is getting tangled up in it, or it'll be adding to what we're offering to the favor. Like, if we offer this as an independent favor later, then whereas if we offer it now, then it's kind of like
that's fair.
Part of our side, yeah.
Things.
I don't think it matters too much to offer it at this point, anyway. So up to you.
Yeah, I'm good either way. I mean, it makes sense that if you do it now, I don't know. I feel like it's already been too. I feel like it's already been too long, and now it's awkward no matter how long you wait. So.
A little bit, yeah. Okay. How about this? If he mentions it, then we offer it quite readily. If not, then we bring it up next time. How does that sound?
Yeah.
Yep.
Like, hey, you guys sound like you have some memories.
I think for now, what we need to discuss is what to do vis-a-vis the assassin situation.
Yeah, that is a thing. Yeah.
Did you want to talk to him about that?
Mm.
Or anyone? You could certainly teleport back down with all the bodies and say, "Hey, sorry we took them, but these guys were totally bad."
Well, the option I think here is, do we want Shiro to use it, or do we want to use it ourselves?
I lean towards letting Shiro use it. I mean, we don't give it to the local authorities because then, like, it just looks shady as fuck that we took them away in the first place, even if we. I imagine he probably knows what he would do with this politically more than we do, or he knows somebody who will know better than we do, and we're not sticking around to become experts on the local political situation.
Yeah, yeah.
I do want to, I'll help a little bit with the information because it's been a very long time since I've done the news and it's gone out of memory, I think. But there were some news posts, reports, wherein Shiro, upon his return, was able to make it back to the planet safely without getting captured. And investigated the assassination of his father. Found out his mother was behind it. Had Ryoko cut off her. Actually, I think no, sorry, he cut off her head, and then he had Ryoko reveal it at a meeting of the various generals to try and root out his mother's connections in the Imperial movement.
I see.
There was a little bit more to it. He had gotten back in contact with his brother and established some things in advance. But what the news reported is that Ryoko revealed the head of his mother to ferret out traitors that had been involved in the assassination of the Emperor, and then the brother revealed that Shiro would be Dragon General, and they kind of made a bloody mess. It was like a red wedding but without marriage of the generals that were perceived to be traitorous or lords and such.
So what this assassination means then is that either some people in his faction will disagree quite strongly with his association with the Massa because we include Sarah Bramford, or he's Mr. Traitor.
Real quick, Viral, your connection is breaking up a little bit.
Shit. One sec. Back in.
Okay.
I don't know what's happening. I do wonder, idly, if the memories have anything to do why he was part of the Raza to begin with. Or like if not the memories, the
Okay, this should be better.
this assassination stuff.
It is. He was framed for the assassination of his father, and he was exiled. So even if that didn't directly put him on the Raza, it is what caused him to be away from Shinobu and taking his rightful place as the Emperor after the death of his father.
It's what put him on that life path. What I was saying before was that this assassination, therefore, based on what you said, Dick, this assassination means that either someone in his faction disagrees strongly enough with his association with the Raza and Sarah Bramford to hire assassins, or he's Mr. Traitor.
Well, they definitely weren't able to ferret out the entire network. His mother was a manipulative schemer. So,
Either way, I feel like we definitely let him know about this.
All right.
okay. He's just kind of chilling out on Shillong, the ship. So he just says you can come back on over if you want. Unless you want to talk to him about this over, broadcast.
I feel like this is worth going through all the formalities for again.
Yeah, probably.
All right. A shuttle is sent over unless you guys want to use Dark Horizon to go over. You do have a shuttlecraft capable of Oh, I'm also being dumb. You can also just dock the Raza like you have been.
I think let's dock the Baza so that it doesn't come up that we're using their shuttle because our own shuttle is not available because it's hiding refugees.
All right, sounds good. Sounds good. Yeah, you dock up. There's less formality this time. This wasn't an official meeting or the conclusion of an official meeting that he had called. You're still shown respect on boarding the ship, but it's just the respect of a visiting warlord as opposed to a visiting warlord who is also a dignitary with whom the Dragon General is meeting.
Okay. That is, if anything, a good thing. The less eyes we have on this, the better, probably.
I'm gonna move you over to the ship screen because I want to know who else is going to this.
Do we have a good reason to not use the same team that we have been using for UIS meetings?
Man, I feel like Doug's a little bit tired of meeting with the Dragon General at this point.
You can skip this one if you like.
Yeah, Doug's gonna sit this one out.
All right.
Yokin will not be going. However, you have my sword.
Literally.
Is that Lord of the Rings reference?
It was, in fact.
I was going to say, this is a very small sword. Like, Myokin's not so small that this is a sword, right?
Like relative
Yeah,
size.
are we running a ship with dwarves on board? That can be a sword?
It's not the size of the sword, it's how you use it.
Man, I want to make a joke about Red Dwarf, but none of you have probably seen that show. Oh wait, Ginja, have you heard of Red Dwarf?
Heard of it. Haven't
I've
watched
watched it
much.
multiple
but
times.
some.
Yeah,
Oh shit!
yeah,
I didn't
I need to watch it. I started watching it once and it didn't draw me in. But I need to.
I mean, you don't need to.
If you got
Yeah, I
to
don't
the
need
episode with Kat and you didn't make it past that, then it's
No, I
probably
barely
not
made it
worth
into it.
Okay. You have to get to the
Yeah.
episode with the cat because that's gonna tell you. I think that gives you enough information to know if the rest is gonna be funny for you.
Yeah, I'm willing to agree with that. I would say that the show doesn't properly hit its stride until Crichton, but yeah.
I'd agree there too. Crichton is an excellent addition, but I think
I don't mean like start of season 2, just like Crichton proper. Anyways,
right no.
but yeah, gestures at Myokin, so get Red Dwarf on the ship.
All right, so we've got Virgilia, Percy, Libra, Orion, and do you still want Ephraim, or is you gonna leave him behind
Yeah.
with the smaller crew?
If he's okay with it, with the smaller meeting, we don't really have anyone who knows UIS. We do have people that know UIS that well. With like the smaller size of meeting, will a security tier of 5 seem like overcompensating? Or a security tier of 4 for one person seem like overcompensating?
A little bit, yeah.
Okay. I think it's then. In fact, yeah, let's say Ephraim and Orion can both stay back.
Okay.
We got this one.
All right, and that
back in
also
Moscow.
prevents you from. I mean, every NPC you bring there is somebody that's hearing this, so.
Yeah, exactly. I trust Libra with this. I mean, you know what?
Still breaking up a little bit.
For fuck's sake, really?
Yeah, it's not
Yeah.
terrible. It's just noticeable every once in a while. I can usually make out what you're saying.
Damn it. Fine, by next week's session, I should hopefully be on a new, different broadband.
Okay. All right.
Unless something has gone very wrong, I'll be on a new, different broadband.
We'll just work through it this time. It's not terribly distracting.
Let me know if it gets worse.
Okay.
Without context. I can usually make out what you're saying. Damn it.
Oh, dear.
Um.
Oh, dear.
Now, do you want to have a big production about this? Do you actually want to have a scene, or do you just want to kind of go over there and give him the information that you have, and then move
I
on
feel
with
like
your
it's wor-
adventures?
I feel like this is worth a scene.
Okay.
We're basically on the way out anyway, aren't we?
Yeah, you are.
one
Unless
more
you
thing to
decide
do.
that you've got something else to do here, and you're effectively done.
Yeah, let's go with
Yeah,
the scene then.
I don't really think I have anything.
What, anything else on the planet or anything for the scene?
On the planet.
Okay.
All
Yeah,
right.
yes.
Um. So yeah, he doesn't meet you in the conference room or the meeting room that he's been meeting you in. Been mistakenly calling it a conference room. It's more of a ceremonial meeting room. He just kind of he invites you up to the bridge, where he's just sitting in his captain's chair, kind of surveying tactical information, the specs of what you've given to him, and he's just going over war plans, effectively. Or I'm sorry, not war plans, text messages. He's just looking at text messages.
Containing war plans? Wait, hang on, this sounds familiar.
Sorry, once I said war plans, I realized.
Testing the plans.
Where have I heard this one before?
It wasn't war plans, it was attack plans.
Yes, that's right. That's what I was trying to get to.
Oh God. Right.
Anyways.
Alright, so he stands up as you enter and gives a a small bit of a formal bow, and then looks back at the screen and asks over his shoulder, "What did you want to see me about?"
Oh, you back?
Who, me?
Yes.
Yeah, I was on the way for a split second. Just as I saw there was a little bit of interference. But yeah, you're the diplomat here. I was waiting for you to take the lead.
Okay. Oh, well, that would be the attempt by Leoka Chen to assassinate us.
Not so loud.
There are
You
other
asked me to take
crew
the
around.
lead.
Did you want to try and speak with him quietly or privately?
Ideally, kind of, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, then yeah.
Then just walk onto the bridge. So someone tried to assassinate us.
Yeah, there are other crew going about their duties here.
Yeah, so
Okay.
keep it down.
All right. Do you have a moment to speak in private? This might be
Send-
of interest to you.
He looks at you, kind of side eyes at the crew. They're ignoring and doing politely ignoring and going about their duty. And then he'll kind of project in his proclamation for representatives of the Raza force, and takes you off to the captain's quarters. Not quarters, but
Alright.
the cap. This is an actual conference room. If you've seen Star Trek, you know that there's a captain's quarters, but before the quarters, there's an actual like place where people have little. The captain can have
Meeting
little
room,
meetings. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he, even though you're just orbiting Shinobu, he put somebody in charge while he's off the bridge.
Honestly, sensible.
Leads you into the conference room and shuts the door behind you. And starts making a pot of tea. And then turns his
Okay.
attention to you as it's brewing. What is it?
I assume we would have brought the sword with us, right?
You can have, yeah.
Yeah, just, they
Yeah.
expect us to have weapons anyway, which looks like part of the security detail.
Okay. So I guess she'll take the sword off of whoever has it and just put it on the table. So, yeah, Leoka Chen attempted to assassinate us.
Chen. Seems unusual for her. He looks at the sword. And inspects it. This is one of ours. This is not Leoka Chen.
No. But she did blackmail its owner into leading the attack.
There were 6 assailants.
Only 6. Sorely underestimated her opponent.
I believe she was initially planning to only kill the one, and the others decided to be opportunistic. At least that's how I understood the conversation.
So the 5 of us that were there, 2 of them were diplomat. Which 2 versus 1 is still not the best.
And who was her target?
Was there any reason we didn't want to tell him?
Not really.
Okay. Sarah Bramford.
He perked with interest at that. Elise.
Right. And her associates, but
Of course.
she was the primary target.
From the Raza. I had wondered if she would be brave enough to meet. I can understand why she did not want to. Please send my warmest regards to her. I mean her no harm.
Of course. Of course.
Shinobin lobbying what it is. And
Can you repeat that?
Shinobin law being what it is, I'm sure you can understand.
Yes, I can. And then he says, he softens a little bit and says, I think she was still young when she was a part of the assassination. Do not hold any of it against her.
Is there a way that we could... Well, I understand that hypothetically it would be possible to exonerate her such that she doesn't need to fear being executed, but I understand. Or does she just need to hide when we're here?
That is an ulterior reason why I asked for an INF. Did you get a soldier? You got the soldier, right? Not the accountant?
I think it was the accountant.
Oh, okay.
No, I believe this one was the soldier.
Oh, right, yeah. Oh, you're right, yeah.
Okay,
The elite dragon or whatever.
that's right.
Yeah, that was it.
Elite red dragon.
That is another reason that, an ulterior reason that I asked for you to harbor, host a INF Red Dragon Guard. He will see the actions of Elise on the Raza, and by extension for the United Imperial Shogunate. And should he find them honorable, I will be able to extend a. I'm not going to roleplay out what exactly it is because I don't know the right words, but basically, he has had some looking into for Elise's purpose. He doesn't know about the others, but for Elise's purpose, he has looked into the law and find that he doesn't have to try and change it or do anything. There are laws on the books already where somebody can posthumously be determined to be in the service of the United Imperial Shogunate as an extension of mercenary crew or company, and that the law does not require them to be dead or actual posthumous. So,
Yeah, I was gonna ask.
yeah, so if the person that's on your ship to monitor the tactics of the situation determines that Elise is acting honorably and in the service of a mercenary that is in the service of UIS, then he basically considers her to be a soldier of UIS by extension, and therefore her actions have. It gets into weird, funky law stuff, and even he says that he doesn't fully understand it. But it is the law, and nothing untoward or shady has to occur. You go ahead and roll me everyone that's there. I guess that's just Percy and Virgilia. And you know what? One of the other three of you roll for Libra. This would be a know or administer check for Virgilia or Percy with intelligence, and a proficient skill check for Libra.
My entire skill point in no is going to come in clutch here. Watch me go.
Hey!
Hey!
It actually does.
Anyone got the Libra roll, or shall I get it?
Go for it.
Now watch as Libra outperforms both of us put together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, not put together, but.
But
Oh, dear.
yeah,
So yeah, all three of you can kind of hear, like, obviously he's not pushing angling towards this, but what he's describing here would cover Kana and Kami if you want them to be monitored also.
Yeah, I was going to prod for a little more information on that,
Sure.
and point out that mercenary work leaves little enough room for honor. Is effective a suitable substitute for honor when it's not possible?
No, of course. And in much more poetic terms, he says something to the effect that honor is often determined by the self. Sorry, it's first determined by self, and second by Victor. Who is Victor, and why is he in charge of all honor? Nobody knows.
Yeah, very funny. I'm sure that sounds better in Shinobin as well. Okay, so, quick team huddle among the players. Do we, at this point, like, it sounds like sufficiently useful is good enough, or sufficiently useful on the Vaza in service to UIS is sufficient to get a pardon. Do we bring up Myokin? Do we bring up Kami?
Let's not bring up any of them specifically, but make it clear that we do have a couple other people in mind to track and have him. Have him be aware there are a couple others that we'd like him to keep an eye on.
Yeah,
on that end.
a couple more people who we didn't know at the time that we hired them were from UIS or had any problems in UIS.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah, that seems
Okay.
fair.
So if we happen to have a couple others who might benefit from such observation, to prove their honor, would you be interested in extending that same offer to them as well?
If they perform and execute service on the Raza, then yes.
Hmm.
Sorry, if they perform dutifully and execute service on the Raza, then yes.
There may be others then. We'll, of course, if there should be, we will let your retainer know.
Oops, I think I accidentally crossed out the name of the Red Dragon. That'll be there. I gave you that name, right?
You probably did. I don't have it written down though.
Alright.
I think
did.
I think
remember.
we got the name of the person who's overseeing this stuff, but not the Red Dragon.
That's one and the same for this. I remember us having a conversation about the pronunciation of Mawson. In fact, I'm gonna look at Mawson. Yeah, it's up here. I just put the meaning of the name, not the actual why I was putting the name up there. Funny. Yeah. Alright, so he says that he asks you to, at some point when you've informed your the potential crew that may need this, and had a conversation with them, to please introduce them to Masen Wu, so that he knows to be paying attention specifically to them, in addition to everything else that he's going to be paying attention to.
Mm-hmm.
I take it that he is equal parts honourable, discreet, and understanding in such matters.
I just want to remind you that Shiro already made the assurance that the INF is instructed to stay their honorable duty to execute traitors, with regard to all crew and service of the Raza.
Mhm.
So
Right.
he's already
They're
got
not gonna murder
instruction
people.
not to interfere, basically.
Okay, I misunderstood that before. I thought that they had instruction to follow the honourable duty to execute traitors. That's why I was so worried.
Oh no. That may
Opposite.
Oh dear.
Yeah. I think that the problem word there is stay. Stay means to hold,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah. You know, I understand it. Just,
Okay.
yeah, I just didn't interpret the word stay.
Yeah.
Like I didn't.
It's like if Kanna went down to the surface, like the one assassination would not be the problem that we have. We would have many attempts.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
Because
fair, yeah.
basically anyone that recognizes who Kanna is would be basically honor bound to do their duty, and yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
I mean, would those assassinations necessarily be problems? If it's just Canada, then she can just whoop out of there.
I mean, true, but
At that,
you know,
at that point,
I'm sure Kanna would see it as a problem that she can't go anywhere without being people attempting to kill her.
That's true. I
mean, that's
suppose,
just
that is
yeah,
true.
that just does a number on you. Even if you can always get away, that'll still mentally mess with you, man.
Yeah.
Mm.
Okay. Yeah. In that case, Percy will not say that's special.
Okay.
In fact, then I'll rephrase it to thanking him for having assigned someone who is, as I say, honourable, discreet, and understanding in such matters.
Right. There was another question though. Do we want to give him the bodies back?
I am not against it. We should. Will he? Does he have use for them? Will he have use for them?
First, should we just send him out the airlock? Later.
Right, but might as well. We could just ask if he wants them.
I think I asked
Hey.
at the time like what the burial culture was like, and I don't know if we got an answer.
Well, something.
Hey, you want the
If it's honorable, then but it wasn't very honorable. That was it.
Yeah, we don't know if these, the thing is, we don't know if these people are ninjas, which means we don't know if they were holding to their honor by being dishonorable.
But they sacrifice. They don't have honor as they're ninjas.
Let's. We can go ahead and
they're
ask,
ninjas.
I guess.
Yeah.
So, I'm glad that's resolved. So, question: do you want the bodies of the people who tried to kill us?
I was gonna say that you should ask what we should do with them, not do you want them. That's like
Too late, because I'm already responding to this.
I tried to stop you, Lulu. I tried to stop you.
He says, "Why do you have them?"
Complicated. Let's suffice it to say that a certain doctor on board was investigating any physical tells that might lead to their origin.
Maybe it's best I don't ask questions.
You just shrug. She just shrugs. Well, you want him?
Jesus, Lulu.
Yes. I will send someone over to collect the bodies and the weapons if you have them. It will help build a case against Leoka.
Real quick, out of character, don't we still have a live prisoner? That seems relevant.
You do.
Do we still want to turn him over?
Yes, at this point, yes. They know what to do with them better than. In fact, we should have led with this instead of the bodies.
Yeah, that's a good point. We'll turn the prisoner over to you as well then.
Oh dear.
I don't think he's woken up yet.
Very well. Yeah, your corpse fridge isn't gonna last long.
That's just, one thing, text. Yeah, no, good timing. Not actually, but you know.
Yeah, he'll take the bodies and the prisoner off of you. He also wants the weapons. And that transfer won't be any kind of an issue unless you want it to be.
Nah.
No, this one's got other problems.
I still think that would have been a really funny way to root out moles. Just fucking leave that as a thing. If anyone gets freaked out by the yellow alert when they open the fridge, then they're a traitor. Or an imposter.
Or just skittish.
Push them out of one airlock and catch it in the other like a sock. Oh dear. Do they have a goalkeeper in the other airlock that we need to get past? I hope not. I imagine that'd be quite disconcerting for the live prisoner. Like, okay, why have you put a helmet on me? Well, try not to flail too much and catch the door if you can. Doot. No, we don't want to risk a vac suit. Just put a helmet on.
Oh no.
But yeah, maybe that's what the old Raza would have done. That's probably what the old Raza would have done. But no, we'll just hand them over.
Shiro is a little bit surprised that there is a live prisoner to turn over. Well, I say surprised, but he didn't express a surprise. He comments on the unusualness of there being a live prisoner.
Yeah, it sounds like we just don't like volunteer any further information.
Okay. All right. So in turning over the bodies, you've also successfully negotiated for. It sounds wrong to say it like this, but additional scrutiny on certain crew members so that they can be, through a convoluted operation of law, granted a reprieve of the or to execute them, and they may possibly at some point go back to Shinobu. Just to visit or to stay, whatever they want to do.
If it's just competency, that like if they only need to be competent and in service of the Vaza, then Myokin's basically like as soon as we've done our first jump, we already have a good case for Myokin to be exonerated.
Well, to put it into less vague terms, it's basically just going to. You get the impression that it's basically just going to be the fact that the Raza has completed service in the furtherance of UIS goals or Shinobu goals or ambitions. And the fact that they are a member of the crew allows them to be called military by extension. For Kana and Kami, that'll basically mean that they never deserted. For Elise, it basically allows her to be considered to performing as she did, as she's saying that she did, on Shinobu, as an act of military service post justification. So it's actually a clearer line of reprieve for Kami and Kana because it's just they're serving militarily for a mercenary ship that is serving the Empire. Therefore, they're effectively still in the Empire's military service and were never deserters. Does that make some sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay. Good. The
po-
silence
point
worried
that-
me.
The point that I was making was just that like you just need to be competent in service of the Vaza to count as like retrievable enough. Myokin's competency is going to be immediate and terrifying.
I agree with you.
Just somebody sent a message back like, so that 10-day journey that I said we were setting out on yesterday, we've arrived somehow.
I understand what you mean. Sorry, I distracted myself from the rebuttal that I was trying to make, and it really is that Kana's personal service and her ability to travel across the sector in a couple days isn't going to be evaluated. It's just as broad as it is the fact that the Raza is doing something. She could have laid in bed the entire time, but the Raza is doing something and she's part of the crew. So
yeah, right. Yeah, it's a shame it doesn't count. It's a shame it doesn't count individual bits of competency.
Yeah, sorry to dash that. That would
Also
certainly
yeah.
celebrate the character more, but it's just bureaucracy. This effectively is just bureaucracy in action. In your favor for once.
Yeah, wild how much easier it is to do things when the authorities. I feel like this is some sort of political commentary.
Moving right along.
You.
Yep. All right. So, is there anything else that you want to discuss with Shiro?
Nothing is springing to mind. Like, we should make it clear that. Well, I was gonna say we should make it clear that like we're not going direct to the Tiamat shipyard from here because we need to salvage stuff to get the drive fixed. But we're getting the drive fixed, so yeah. Are we going straight to Tiamat from here? I feel like no, right?
With the negotiations, you don't have to salvage anything to get the drive 6.
Yeah, Yeah,
There
Hamilton
was
can be-
still talk of going to Onalau though.
Yeah,
Let's
that's true.
Yeah. And
let's
did we? I know I meant to bring it up. I don't remember if I actually did. We also have broken weapons, and we were talking about do we want to fix those before
Right.
we get Drive 6?
Yeah,
For that, you would need a salvage, yes.
yeah.
let's go ahead and hit up Onalau first,
Okay.
because we'll still need to think about our method for infiltrating the system.
Yeah, Onalal gives us time to get the infodrive installed in the ship, experiment a bit, see if we think it would let us jump past the border around Tiamat.
We have essentially the schedule for the monthly window, right?
Mhm.
It's also
Yeah,
a 3-day window every month.
Yeah, that was
we
in
had-
the data.
We had
Yeah,
the
I was-
schedule. We had the schedule for a monthly window and a plan to do something that will hopefully scramble it.
I was just curious how that lines up. Like, when is that window relative to now?
True, actually, true.
I mean, I guess a month isn't really the biggest of deals, but
Yeah,
considering how long this time span of this campaign's gone over, because how we've been moving so fast, it's a month could feel like an eternity unless we just skip fast forward.
I'm gonna leave the specifics of that hazy because I do I do want to sorry, let me restate that. I don't want to say it's 17 days from now and you miss it by a day and then have to wait a whole month.
But then okay, yeah, I'm fine with that then.
As long as everyone's okay with me not giving it a specific date.
Like, yeah, I mean, even if we did have to fast forward, that wouldn't be the end of the world.
True.
it's not like we have a fucking campaign-wide timeline that we're working towards or anything.
Yeah, like we get the drive fixed, we get the guns fixed, and then it's like, oh, there's something weird going on. What is this weird pulsing thing? Like,
Oh dear. But yeah, we should. I feel like we probably want our weapons fixed before we go to fucking, the Union
Tiamat.
capital shipyard.
Yeah. I mean, I think given the drive signature stuff, I would be a lot happier if we've got guns fixed before Drive 6. So
I don't think that is the deal. Was that we get the drive fixed so that it is possible for us to go in at all. We didn't mention the guns.
The option here is either we get the drive fixed or we don't get anything.
Yeah, pretty much.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think we'll be fine. I mean, I think we'll be fine with and just make a top priority once we get the drive upgraded to get the weapons repaired.
Yeah, I think then what we
Yeah,
should
that
say
works.
too is we should make it clear that even with the fixes, we're not going to go straight to Tiamat. We need to test out a new method, and while we're doing that, we're going to work on collecting some salvage to bring our weapons up to scratch. But that is still like our
And
main
don't
priority
forget,
at this point.
well, once we have Drive 6, we'll also get the infra drive and essentially have 2 methods of emergency escape.
That is part of the method that we're going to be testing during our campaign time. Not that we'll tell them the specific method that we're testing, because the less people know about that, the better. Yeah, just make it clear that it's like, this is our primary goal, but we are not going straight there.
Yes. Yeah, definitely worth making that clear too.
Alright. Yeah, he is leaving the actual timing of Tiamat to your devices, but he does put some a little emphasis on urgency, because if the Union fleet there is as large as you say, then there could be an attack from them coming at any point. He doesn't know what their plans are, why they've got such a large fleet there, except for the prospect of war. And so that's his urgency, is, take the time you need, but make sure that the time you need does not give them the time they need.
Okay. That's fine. We should have enough time to do these initial steps anyway.
Mm. Vaza, it's an exceptionally fast ship, and once we have a method devised, we can execute. Once we have a method tested, we can execute. We should be able to execute it quickly.
All right, very good. He trusts you to your discretion.
So, Dex, can we get the sector map quick?
Can you get the what?
Sector map.
Oh, sure. Make sure that nobody's typing anything on the player journal.
And I have an important question for Nox, which is, hypothetically, if we have Drive 6, how fast can we get from Old to Tiamat?
Oh, goodness.
Very probably. Where is Onlau?
Oh, yeah, no, that's basically next door.
Yeah, that's
wow, yeah.
with Drive 6. That's a single.
Well,
jump.
we only have a rudder from Carfali, right? So unless we're going to blind jump,
I can
we
make the
don't know
jump.
if a blind jump works.
I don't think it's a matter of having a rudder or not. It's a very specific.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you don't actually
Yeah.
don't believe you have a rudder from Corfali. You just have the basically you know where the on ramp and off ramp are.
Yeah,
Right. Okay.
I think. Wait, from there to Tiamat?
Yeah.
You had given us an effective rudder with a date of usage of 1 year.
Oh, had I? Okay. Let me make a note of that. Do you remember when that was?
It was a few sessions ago.
Oh, because of the information that Beth.
Because of the information.
Yes. Okay. Right.
Oh,
Right.
yeah, from the last cycle.
Okay. Then yes, you do have a rudder from.
Not that
Corfali
having the
too.
rudder is terribly important for that.
Yeah. Like if we're going from Onalau, it's like, yeah, let's do a blind 5 hex jump to Carfali, and then a 3 hex jump with a rudder. Like, yeah, I don't think that one's going to be the issue.
Yeah, we're rolling 4d6, keep the highest 2 with 2 rerolls. We're making that jump.
Yes.
Luckily not.
But yeah.
Yeah, so the question
Yeah.
is, how fast could we do it, hypothetically, from Onalau to Tiamat blind?
Pretty fast? Pretty fast.
Yeah.
Like,
We can get there arbitrarily fast.
Yeah.
can we?
I mean, if we bounce off Carfali, that's a 5 hex jump, then a 3 hex jump, which I believe the given we don't have to refuel, I believe the timings are basically linear, so you can just count it as 8 hexes of travel.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Which
plus an extra 15 minutes to half an hour of travel.
yeah, but
Good,
it's
yeah,
not gonna,
at least, you know,
I don't think that's
time.
going to be a huge thing.
At the time scales that we're dealing with, it does factor in at this point.
Okay, yeah. Well, we'll see. So eight days of 8 hexes of drill thing. So what effective drive rating do we have?
If
we have
Seven?
drive 6.
Wait,
Effective
no,
7.
8. We could 7 or 8.
7 or 8.
Yeah. There was a mod that I wanted to see about
Right, is
adding
that-
to the ship
is that
that would
trim
give
the
us an
course?
effective drive speed of 9.
Is the 8 trim the course? Or
8 is trim the course, 7 is normal, 9 is with possible additional mod.
okay.
Is
Okay.
it easier to
And then
blind
is there
jump?
any modifier on top of that, or is that the?
Is it easier to?
Also, sorry, go ahead.
Is it easier to blind jump from Onalau to Corfali and then rudder jump to Tiamat than it is to jump from Onalau to Tiamat?
Well, it's not a matter of rudder for
We don't
The rudder
we
doesn't
don't know
matter.
if it's even possible to do this jump.
Right.
Fair. Okay, fair point. Okay,
It's
never
just
mind then.
that it's just that Tiamat is a very unique situation when it comes to jumps.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna extend that in reverse. Also, you don't know if it's possible, or you don't know if the reason that this whole cycling thing would allow you to jump out from Tiamat to somewhere else.
Makes sense.
Mm.
I've read calls. Which side you look at?
Yeah.
a separate thing would be if you're doing the calculations, the speed at which you go is dependent on how many hexes you're jumping at once.
5 times 3.
So it would be a 5 and then a 3, not just an 8.
Kind of. Because the transit time is per hex traveled. So, like, yes, it's a 5 hex, then a 3 hex, but my reading of travel time says that's exactly equivalent to if you could just do an 8 hex to start with. You're traveling 8 hexes in total.
Is that the case?
The time taken for the time taken for a 5 hex jump is 6 days. 6 days times 5 divided by your effective rating, and then 6 days times 3 divided by your effective rating is just 6 days times 8 divided by effective rating. Basically, 6 days from unallowed to Tiamat. If we
I was thinking that it was that the calculation was different in a way that would make it a slower jump to go 5 days than it would to go 3 days, because of something other than the fact that you're traveling to extra hexes.
Normally, the slowdown is that you have to refuel, but you guys have solved that problem.
Yeah.
So yeah, normally doing multiple 1 hex jumps is slower than a single 6 hex jump.
Yeah. But we basically pop out of meta space and then immediately pop back in, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like, sure, there'll be maybe 15 minutes, half an hour or something of prep, but when you're spending 6 days in meta space, half an hour doesn't really matter.
So the time that you're looking at is
so it's
effectively 6 days divided by whatever drive rating you end up at, and then dividing that by 2 again.
See, the reason I was thinking about
divided
was
by 2
because of Starfarer. Sorry, what was that Varro?
The reason
Starfarer halves it again.
Yeah.
3.5 days.
Hey, Varro, go ahead.
3.5 days if we don't trim the course.
Kinja, let's give Viral the floor here.
Yeah.
Too excited.
Thank you. The reason I've done it before. The reason I'm thinking about it is, like, hypothetically, if Union does start rolling a battle fleet out of Tiamat, how fast can we get there to mess them up?
Gotcha.
Which is 3.5 days is a little bit too long. What I'm wondering is, if we know what the window of opportunity is, do we head over to Core Valley ahead of time so that we can react quickly if there starts being signs of something coming from Tiamat?
I mean, the bigger thing is that news of them doing something would take weeks to get to us.
Yeah, that's true, I suppose.
Yeah.
Can't travel.
The mail will take longer to travel to us than we will take the travel back to it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. There's also the fact that if we want to try and detect them coming out of Tiamat, we're going to take, a day and a half to jump in? They might be on the way out when we start jumping in, and we'd have no idea.
Yeah. That was what I wondered, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Was just thinking on the off chance that there was a way that we, if we did take too long and they start coming out, can we stop them in time?
I mean, I have an idea for that.
I mean, hold on. Did that happen in the previous cycle? Presumably we have information on that. Did anything happen with the ships there last cycle?
Nope.
Too much is different. I would argue too much is different to use that as a reliable indicator of whether something is going to happen this time.
Right, but it's something to factor in.
It's something.
Yeah.
So, let me just put this out here. I think I heard you say, Ginja, that it was doubled again, and I want to make clear that trimming the course in spike dual travel is just a functional +1 to the course. So there's only 1 divided by 2 in here.
Yeah. No,
okay.
Yeah, I've only got 1.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
So if you're trimming the course, and before you get the mod that Nox wants, there we go, 7 and 8. Each hex is 0.375 days.
Yes.
If you don't trim the course because you don't want the difficulty hit, 0.429, so about half a day per hex.
Yeah. Or if we do the drive 9 effective thing, then a third of a day. 3 hexes per day. What drive levels the rest of the sector running? 2, right?
Yes.
Yep.
So everyone else is running 3 days per hex. We'd be running 3 hexes per day.
Mm-hmm.
We might be a little bit faster than everyone else.
Absolute cinema.
Cinema.
This is all without factoring in the infra drive.
Yes.
Keep in mind.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
This is just purely on conventional spike drives.
Well, quote unquote
reason-
conventional.
The reason that I was not factoring the infra drive into the planning was so that we could make an even faster escape once we get in.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's got to recharge, right? So we probably want to use that on the way out.
Its
Yeah,
recharge
exactly.
has nothing to do with, or like the recharge time is just static, right? It's not like, hey, we can't do like a short skip.
Right.
Just
Yeah.
that
It's
cooldown.
just static.
Dang.
Yeah.
Because that's a really good that's a really good power move in combat too. Teleport behind them.
Yeah,
Nothing
if you
for
don't-
kid.
Yeah, but I do think that's best saved as like a runaway, Just in
Yeah,
case things are going extremely wrong suddenly.
It's very
Yeah.
much a better escape ace the whole.
Could I say a thing?
Yes.
It was said when we were doing the information on the white hole bomb is that it was simple enough in activation that it could be automated. We could set up some kind of machine that will detect metaspatial travel and then set off the white hole bomb in response.
Are we really thinking? Are we thinking of actually using the white hole bomb as a bomb?
I assumed you were just like using it as a disruptor.
Yeah. It puts it together, and then it will, whatever travel is happening will no longer be viable.
Oh, right.
Would that,
Right.
would
Okay,
that
I forgot
require...
the bomb part was when you cancel it partway through the charging.
So are you suggesting leaving the bomb behind then, or what?
I'm saying that
Yeah,
it's
I
an
think
option.
As an option,
I don't know. It seems too
feel-
important.
it feels like kind of a last ditch option, but it is an option.
Now, for me, we've been discussing this. What I want to know is how do we get down to the planet while we're infiltrating Tiamat?
Do we need to?
Yeah.
Ruins.
Here's a question. How well can the Raza lead a Mary chase through a system?
Well, it's got a very fast drive.
We are pretty fast.
I was gonna say you just lead them on a Mary chase and just take the bomber over to the planet.
That might still increase security at the site itself. We'd probably want to do it quietly
Well, I just don't think there's
possible.
any way. There's not any way to get into the system quietly. Is the problem?
That's
Right.
not necessarily the case. Just because we don't know one yet doesn't mean there isn't one.
How obvious is? I guess how obvious is popping in with an infra drive? that would require that we go there first. Right?
That's not it though.
Yeah.
I think the best way to do it would be to disguise ourselves as Union somehow. And there must be a way to do that.
I mean, if we have the infra drive available, we must be at drive 6, which means our signature is Raza. I don't think we're disguising that. Like there might be some way, but it seems unlikely that you can disguise the signature like that.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at.
So I'm gonna put some information in front of you, just real quick. What Ginja said about the drive signature, yes. Remember, and I think you're already accounting for this. Cruisers always make a splash, according to everything that everyone knows, when they enter a system. It doesn't identify where they come in at, but it does identify that a cruiser has landed in the system from somewhere. And the only known route into Tiamat is from Korafali, so Union can fortify it. No, sorry,
Right.
I interrupted you, Lulu. Go ahead.
So someone has to be able to jump to Tiamat. That means someone has at least a drive 3. They're building capital ships. They have cruisers. and someone has to go there occasionally. So how do we disguise ourselves as that someone?
I think what we'd have to do is take that ship, and then use that ship.
That's
That is a thing,
still
isn't
an option.
Mm.
It seems a lot riskier.
It is, but it is still an option. Now it's worth noting that the Raza can still go in there. Well, hold on. How long does the info drive take to reboot? I guess
A week, I think.
It was a week or a month. I think it's a month actually.
It's a week.
I
yeah.
think I may have changed it at some point. I may have said
Oh.
a month and decided that was way too long for the scope of the game. I think actually the emergency one is a month, isn't it?
Oh yeah. That's what I'm thinking of. It's the emergency drill activation.
Yeah, every 4 weeks. Yeah, the info drive I'm remembering is, I think it's always been a week, but I'm not even certain about that. Right now
Yeah,
it's a week.
it probably is. I'm almost certainly mixing it with emergency drive activation cooldown.
Okay.
All right. So what we let's see. I think we should at least investigate this possibility. The possibility of seeing what ships jump there, and seeing if we can find a way to, I guess, hitch a party to one of those. What is required to actually make a place a viable target for the info drive? Does the info drive have to be there?
Mm-hmm. Has to be installed on the Drive 6 spec drive, or level 6 spec drive, and present in the system.
Okay.
Okay, so if we
Not
go somewhere,
gonna-
we can jump back, basically.
All right.
It's relative to, like, even within a system that do you still have to be in a place, or can you go anywhere into the system if you've been to the system?
Nox,
If
go ahead.
if we have the infra drive and we are willing to expend the use of it for information purposes, we could kind of make a jump to there and then immediately infra drive out.
Yeah, you're
That's the
all
thing
right.
to
This
do.
is what I was thinking too.
So
That
we
is-
arrive in the system, we meet the conditions for the infra drive to be able to jump there. A splash is made, but no ship ever arrived. Or that's what it looks like, because there isn't a ship there.
Yeah.
And the ship couldn't have, like,
Well, that's what I'm wondering too.
been seen there
does-
because it infra drived out immediately.
Well, that's what I'm wondering too. Is does infra drive cause a splash?
We don't know. We'd have to test that.
Yeah.
We can test
know.
that.
Yeah, it should be one of the first things we test. Yeah. The what was the other thing?
You were asking if the info drive
Oh.
can jump to anywhere in the system.
Yeah, can it jump any point in the system, or only like horizon?
The infra drive. Let's see. Actually, I don't think you have data for that.
I
Fair
also
enough.
don't think we need the infra drive for that if we're willing to expend the use of emergency spike.
Which is a thing that we can do, yeah.
Oh, yeah, you do that, and then you
And then we still have the infra drive available.
depending on how we can blink into another system with the infra drive, that would yeah. I think we need to test the infra drive, see what sort of splash and what sort of control we have over when entering a system. With it.
It would be really fucking funny to jump into a system, emergency drill activation out, infra drive in somewhere else, do a thing,
Yeah.
and then leave normally.
I mean, that's basically what I was saying. that's what I was
That's
thinking.
an
I was like,
option.
emergency drill activation. Now, of course, the problem with that being is then both our infra drive and emergency drill activation are cooldown.
I know, but like, we're already on a bit.
I don't think
Don't
it
pick it.
matters.
Don't pick a fight for a week. Don't pick a fight for a week while the enemy is in disarray because their secret base just got cut off from the rest of the world.
There's also the the option of we do have a fighter that is much better at hiding, basically.
Oh,
we
pop
could-
in, drop the fighter.
drop the fighter, leave it there, let it run out, and then pop back in to pick it up.
Oh
That's
dear.
actually not terrible.
So jump in, drop
if
fighter.
they have
Go on.
if they have defenses on the planet, they might not be able to make it in. Granted, that would happen regardless of what we use
It's
to get
pretty
on.
sneaky,
Yeah,
though.
Also,
That's the trick.
Do they need to go to the planet? My understanding was that the white hole bomb just does its disruptive thing for like
Again,
the
this is the
entire-
question.
We want to get to the planet.
Right.
We don't need to for the bomb part, but
Because
I
I think the ruins are vital to understanding exactly what's happening here.
Hmm.
And that is why I think it might be a good idea to see if we can get a Union asset.
Going back to that, the other question that I have is politically, how do we spin this one? Because we wanted to bring Union to the negotiating table at some point. And if we do that and then do this is a massive dick move and breach of trust. But also, if we do this and then try and negotiate with them, they're much less likely to bite and they're going to be much warier coming in.
What if they never know it was us?
Drive 6, how do you plan to do that?
Again, the possibility does exist that we do not need to use the Raza itself for this.
when you have a Raza, everything looks like a problem that needs to get solved by a Raza.
Right. But there may be there is
But yeah.
always the thought that having the Raza very specifically not there,
making itself known somewhere else.
Visibly somewhere else, yeah. Make it an alibi, basically.
right. Now, I think we should definitely test how exactly the infradrive registers on things before we make
any plans based off of it.
Make any firm plans based off of it.
Yeah.
But once we have that, and once we know how that works, we could, if the option exists, we could again go about acquiring a Union asset or some other disposable asset to make this run for us and use that for this process.
Maybe. Dex, can we get the plan page so that we can note some of this down?
Yep, sure can. I was actually just about to make some notes for you. I'm happy to let you do it.
Okay,
Where are you gonna put it?
Yeah, the notes
There's
for
a
the
tiny
top
little
left,
space right
we probably
here.
don't. We probably don't need this stuff in the top left. Like, we've convinced him not to destroy Henry Station.
Yeah.
We can increase the size of the notes page.
Also, that I was going to ask if we ran out of space, but I'm not out of space yet. Okay.
Take care of the jump scare news. We know what that was about now.
Yep.
Alright, this may mess everything up. Oh, good, it didn't.
Good.
I still have the jump gate thing. I haven't played with very much, but do like the.
It's a gridless non-grid. Gridless grey.
About to get a grid.
The gridless gray.
Alright, you have a bigger notes page.
It's a grid with a grid.
It's a gridless grid.
Yeah.
There we go. I'm guessing that Viral has a fan on.
Ah, shit. Is that happening again? I don't have fan on. Shit. Shit. Hi.
Alright,
Hi. You good?
Do I need to delete the we haven't really discussed his memories yet, and the don't destroy it lines?
Yes, please.
Okay, I wasn't sure if you left those in on
Oh.
purpose or if they've been
No,
typed by
they were
somebody
mine.
else. Yeah,
They
okay.
belong
They
to
were
me.
mine.
Mhm.
Alright. And there it is.
Why can I not change the color of the text after I have written it?
And it's because I have an upgrade gem cane, I'm sure. It is very
Okay.
difficult. What
I mean-
color do you want it to be?
It's just buggy. I had that
That's
problem
right, I got
before too.
There you go. Yeah, what color do you want it?
The color that I've retyped it in.
Oh, gotcha.
I remember having that problem in here too. I don't know what the heck the deal was. I think it's just Roll20 being buggy as heck.
Yeah.
Because you should be able to change the color.
Should
In
be
fact, I was
easy.
able to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was able to this time, but in the past I've had that problem where it wouldn't let me,
Mm-hmm.
or like it would temporarily and then just undo on its own. Or
Yeah.
something. I don't know. It drove me crazy.
Okay, have I forgotten details on Tiamat? Potentially an emergency drive in somebody else. Bring a disposable asset and the timing on it. What other details do I need to keep in mind that I won't note it down?
Sorry, what was the question?
Tiamat.
Oh no,
You're breaking up
Now
a
it's
little
real
bit
bad.
there. Yeah.
Ah, shit.
not just a little bit this time.
Yeah, not just a little bit,
breaking
yeah.
up a lot.
Fucking bastard headset. Am I back?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
for now.
Yeah, Tiamat thing, top left of page, what did I forget?
Top left page. Do.
I believe he was basically asking about the bring disposable
Establishing
asset. Was there anything else in your plan there, Lulu?
I
Or
mean,
just
that's
anything
part of the
general.
disposable. Part of the
Anything
disposable
at all.
asset was the Raza as with their establishing an alibi for the Raza, if you will.
That's up there already.
Oh, was it?
Set up an alibi?
It doesn't need to be about that plan. Just
Oh, set up an
any plan-
alibi. I can't
Just-
read. I don't know what to tell y'all.
Just any plan that we've had relating to Tiamat,
Okay.
any of them. Have I forgotten anything?
Let's see. Make a note that we do want to, like, again, I want to get down to the planet to investigate that.
Yeah,
but,
I was gonna say it. Part of the top 2 is if you can have the Dark Horizon sneak out.
Yeah.
Get to the planet.
Dex, do we have any information from the previous cycle based on the Tiamat data on defenses on the planet?
You should. Yeah, absolutely, you do. Yeah, don't worry about it.
Oh,
What were the defenses, Dex?
Oh yeah, it's cool.
yeah, those. Yeah, we have them. We still don't have a sheet for the Dark Horizon either, do we?
Oh shoot! See, I thought we weren't playing this week.
Do your best, Dex.
We believe in you. Anyways, let's see.
Continue. I'll look up my notes on the Tiamat defenses. I don't think there actually were any, but don't hold me to that. I'm gonna look at last cycle's journal, GM journal, while you guys continue on with your other thoughts.
Now,
You assume there's thoughts in his head.
this is kind of a structural thing. Now, Union is at least ostensibly structured as a cooperative, correct?
Define what you mean by cooperative.
Worker owned.
Mm,
Is it privately owned or is it publicly traded, or is it like a worker owned cooperative? Like, is it a corporation?
it's just
Was it a
straight up government corporation. Union.
Okay.
Union is the planetary government of Hlif, and all Union out in the sector is an extension of that planetary government on Hlif.
Would there be
government
any?
is composed of the people?
Yeah, but I'm asking
Well, not
mostly if it's that sort of structure, would it be possible to get some sort of union identification so that when we are ruined side, we can wave those around without and limit the ability of whoever's there to ask questions?
Oh yeah. In fact, I should have asked you why you were asking, because that's a much easier question to answer. Yes.
Okay. So yeah, that's another possibility. If the defenses on site are limited, and we can get at least possibly some sort of identifier that lets us move unimpeded, then playing it as an extremely surprise inspection using the Dark Horizon is plausible. We just need to acquire that sort of identification.
Yeah, like a Mr. Jack or something.
If only we had a Mr. Jack in training. We don't really, but I do think that the angle of hey, we picked up some massive energy disturbance. We have information that says we should probably be investigating this for that sake of the cosmos thing that we were talking about with you. So, hear me out. We do the white hole bomb thing. We have to meet with them. We go, hey, as part of this, we picked up on this big energy wave. And our information says we should really be going and investigating that. We don't know quite where it is, and let them quote unquote tell us about Tiamat.
That's an option.
Assuming we can convince them that, like, hey, we need to be working together.
Maybe. It could be a possibility. I'm trying to think.
No. To answer your question, Pretoria does not have any ground defenses that were logged by Cycle 2 Raza. But there was a orbital fleet that they had to dodge.
Okay.
So where are we at? Do we need a break? Is there brain fuzz going on?
Yeah, I'm a little.
I think brains are fuzzing. What? Unless there's any objection, why don't we take a break?
Sure.
And any thoughts you have, I'll leave the player page up. You can certainly type them in. But I think when we come back, let's go ahead and get your first destination set up instead of continuing to think on the final plans. Let's go somewhere.
Yeah, I think we wanted to go to Allow anyways, right? Anyone? Are we opposed to doing that first?
Yeah, weren't we gonna do like the ship fix stuff?
It's
sooner rather than later.
Oh, also that.
Yeah.
I guess.
So your next destination is Kuditerti. Sorry, Myokin, go ahead.
Corfali, there's not much there, but that's where Hyperion Station is or whatever, I think, right?
There's Hyperion Station, ostensibly a prison station, although that's like the holding area, or jail for low crime offenders that are going to be released pretty soon. It is technically still a prison. It's just not the prison planet. I got
It's
myself
not like
on it.
Supermax.
Yeah. And then there's the prison planet, and that's it. Galactic Mandate doesn't want anything else in there. A lot easier to police when you know that there's only 2 places you need to worry about.
It's interesting because that's the only way in and out to the Tiamat system. So any traffic that Union has to go through there. I was thinking, going there, it's scoping it out for a bit.
You do have information that Galactic Mandate ostensibly does not have. Because you've got an actual rudder to Tiamat, you also know where a ship coming from Tiamat will arrive in Corfali.
That's interestingly true, actually. That is interestingly true.
But, surely that's raised some questions for Hyperion Station before. It's like, where'd they come from?
If it wasn't a cruiser ship or larger, would never even be registered.
Right. Okay.
Unless there happened to be a ship in that region of space, but as I've said a couple times, space is big.
Space big.
So yeah, let's go ahead and put a pin in that real quick. You can certainly divert to Corfali if you want to investigate first, but I'm going to be planning for you when we come back from the break to finish up a very brief bit of discussion on the immediate term, and then head over to Kuditihirti to the Nox for ship repairs.
Yeah.
I'll put us on break.
Yeah.
Go ahead and come back in about 15 minutes.
Okay.
Let me go ahead and bring us back into frame here.
If time is scripted, they would have always gotten salt.
I keep hearing you say salt. Am I hearing that right?
Oh, yeah. Past the salt.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness. I think I missed the past the salt part, and I kept hearing you talk about salt. I'm like, where the hell did salt come from? What does salt mean?
The salt joke was... Elise does a prediction to see if somebody will pass the salt to them at like the dinner table. And 1 month will down. But they have to ask, because that's making a reasonable effort towards achieving it. They can't just will the salt to them.
I
Not
think
like telekinetic could.
that's a good use of prophecy.
This is the worst use of prophecy.
If you get high enough precog, you can pretend to be a telekinetic.
Actually,
high enough telepathy, you can pretend to be a telekinetic by controlling other people.
Really, what people see is you like staring at the salt across the table, focusing on it intently. Like, you need the salt? I'll just hand it to you.
Boom, telekinesis.
my God, the prophecy came true.
I don't know anything that's happening anymore.
Okay, just going off on tangents.
This is a fun tangent.
Well, I hate to break the tangent. How is our list going? Looks like you've got some ideas there.
I believe whoever added a note to the bottom has not realised that I've just essentially rephrased the note into the actual list itself. Yeah, I think this is everything that we talked about.
Okay. Then let's jump to the decision of what you're doing in the immediate future. You've got Tajamashiro's offer to basically fund your drive repairs over at the Nox in Kuditihirti. You also want to go to Onalau, and you thought about going to Corfali to scout things out or set up some kind of scouting. Which of these would you... Well, I'll take Onla. Would you rather go to? Let me put you over on the map. Is anybody still typing on the player page?
I'm not.
All right, I'm moving you to the map. So, Korfali is pretty close. So is Kuritsahirti. Actually, they're about the same distance away. In fact, that's funny. I think they're exactly
basically exactly the same distance away.
Yeah.
Both
What
4
was?
hexes.
Oh, Kuritsahirti is the shipyard.
The shipyard, yeah.
And so, do you want to go to Korfali and try to arrange some observation there first, or do you just want to go to the Nox?
I get the feeling that setting up some sort of observation in Korfali would mean something to the Red Dragon, like, hey, we are making efforts to make sure that they don't catch us with our metaphorical pants down.
Okay.
Just a thought.
Then let's talk about methods that you could use to do that very briefly. First
do
of
we
all,
need to hold on? Can we walk that back for a second? Why do we need to go to Kuritsahirti?
That's where the Nox is.
The repairs, the Nox shipyard.
Oh, don't they have a shipyard in UIS?
Nope.
Nope.
They
have a contract with the Nox.
Okay.
They have facilities that can sufficiently repair battle damage and such, but the extent of your repairs are either being done by hand by you as you go along, or at a shipyard.
Let's see. Onalau. So what if we're going to go to Onalau first? What I'd probably suggest is hopping over to Kuritsahirti first, then bouncing by Korfali on the way to Onalau.
Yep.
And that is essentially what I would have said before, but Dex mentioned monitoring at Korfali as a possibility. So, like, watching or setting up some sort of thing to track if anybody comes out of Tiamat or goes into Tiamat. And that is actually an excellent point.
So it'll be very difficult to detect if somebody goes into Tiamat. Remember, you don't have to drill from a specific place, and you can't follow where somebody is drilling to.
Wait, I thought this was like one very specific route, and that's why we could track people coming out.
You can always the reason that you can track people coming out is because when you arrive in a system, you always arrive in the same place based on where you started. But when you leave a system, you don't have to be anywhere specific in your origin system to get anywhere else.
Okay.
The only zone that's fixed is the arrival from a spike drill.
Okay.
So that's the only information that you'll be able to get is people coming from Tiamat.
Okay, that's still valuable. If anything, that's the more valuable half of it.
And I'll also add that this kind of surveillance doesn't necessarily need to be. You don't necessarily need to go to Korfali to do it if you're not going to be doing the surveillance yourself. If you intend to contract anybody to sit there and wait, yeah.
Can we just pay off? Can we just like slip a few thousand credits to some mandate?
That's
a signal officer, and then just go with that.
That's a possibility. Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, point them to the arrival location.
There's also something else we haven't talked about, which is the big cargo of energy weapons in the hold right now.
Hey.
Oh right, we bought those, didn't we?
Hey, we do have a bunch of those to sell, don't we?
I think Lulu may have been more concerned about not getting caught with them. Maybe I may have misread that.
It's both.
Okay.
Really.
Fair point.
Sooner rather than later. Did I?
Fair point. Well made.
Oh, okay, yeah, I did add those, or someone added them at least. That's probably me.
Just to put some clear options out there, you can go to Korfali and have Doug build some kind of a small little relay that just kind of captures and keeps the data until you get back. Basically, bug the arrival zone. You can go to Holau, hire someone. You can go to Korafali and bribe a signals officer. Although in this cycle, I was confusing the last cycle for a moment. This cycle, Galactic Mandate has not been informed yet, right?
Of the situation in Tiamat?
Yeah.
No, we
Yeah,
have not
correct.
told them.
Okay.
I think
Not yet.
so far the only people we've told is specifically Tajima.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think we've even told
So far.
Cassian, right?
You have
Not yet.
Mm-mm.
Not yet. Yeah, because the last time we were in March was before that. Yeah. But the next time we stopped off at March, we were going to try and pick up Portia Lynn, which was going to tie back into the whole Audrima quest lines, and we were wanting to do this first, poke us and see what it's about. Which got us involved with Tiamat. I feel like if we go do the Audrima thing now, then the Red Dragon on our ship is going to be like, yo, what the fuck?
I personally think the porcelain thing is probably going to be the last thing we do before we move to war. That would be my guess anyway.
That would seem like an appropriate point to do that too.
Which is kind of hilarious because we told the people in Audrima that yes,
honestly.
this is our highest priority. Yep, of course, very important.
They've waited
look, if they don't-
14,000 years. They can wait another month.
Okay. They weren't sure if we were the right Raza anyways. How it feels.
This is our highest priority. What they don't know is that we sort our priority list from lowest to highest.
And also, we're also just really terrible at prioritizing things.
Also that,
that's true as well. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, hard-boiled space mercenaries are very well known for their impulse control and organizational skills.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah,
Exactly.
that's what I said.
I know.
What is going on right now?
Nobody knows.
We're just smiling and nodding at each other to hide the fact that we have no idea what's going on.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on
Exactly.
either.
I say hide. Hide is
all right,
maybe
so-
hide is quite a strong word.
Hold on. Let's walk this back. Where are we going?
How much do we care about setting up a relay ourselves in Korafali?
There might be use for it, but I think ultimately it wouldn't be significantly greater than just paying off a signal officer.
Well, I mean, it shouldn't take me that long, right? I mean, it would certainly keep it because the problem with tipping off a signals officer is that that's also tipping off the Galactic Mandate to that arrival location, which they are not aware of right now.
Could we theoretically just kind of stow away on a ship? It's a bad idea. It's the awful plan, but it is a possibility.
Where?
Theoretically, yes.
Yeah, but we'd have to figure out a way to actually identify those ships. Now, I guess that's a possibility.
Tiamat, yes, that is a possibility. Yes.
Yeah, I think that was one of Lulu's ideas. And I think that or seize control of the ship and go there. But
we can just
we'd still. I think
DSI
if for that to work, I think we need to identify them when they leave, and then figure out where that ship went, and confirm that they're going back, and then
that or get into another
month.
That or get into a proper Union database.
Lots of moving parts, essentially. Not an insurmountable amount of moving parts, but lots of moving parts.
Yeah. That's certainly
I
something.
mean, if a Union ship is kind of passing all the way to I forget the name of the system, and then they just go to a fueling place and then immediately head out to a place to jump, we can kind of reasonably assume if they're coming inside of the time window.
We would need to watch to make sure that is the kind of pattern of interactions that they do when they come out.
Yeah. And then we just DSI one, and then we're there.
I'll move you back to the planning page so that this can be added, but I want to refocus us back on what you guys are doing now.
Yeah,
I really just, yeah.
So,
yeah. Basically, if we're not wanting to go straight to Core Valley to do something right now, then I reckon the plan is we are going to the Nock shipyard.
okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
So, for those that are keeping track of the date, it is July 24th when the inspection is completed, and you guys are making plans to set off.
And how many
Well,
days
hold on.
is that inspection?
If we're still in the middle of planning, can we check if any trader is passing through Corfali and just pay them to drop some sensor off on the outskirts?
That's the thing we can do.
A two-part question. You're not still in the middle of planning, but you can still get that data. You can still ask, and no,
that's actually not a bad idea.
Oh,
yeah, there's not much trade that goes through there.
There's not much trade that goes through Corfali.
I mean, they have to bring food there or something, correct?
Right, but you're talking about from UIS.
They
Right,
probably buy
but-
from March.
Yeah, that's true.
It's entirely there is a route there. The food does take a route through here from there because there's fish at Marabia that people like, and so there are some traders that go there. But they're selling it at March, and then somebody else is taking it to Corfali in all likelihood.
Okay.
This fish is only weeks old.
Yeah.
Only weeks? My God.
It's flash frozen. It's fine.
The presence of March makes tracking movement of individual types of cargo more difficult, not impossible, but more difficult than like what you guys are trying to do quickly here. All right, and
Well,
you were
hold
asking
on.
how many days have passed?
Now, hold on. There's actually a trading route that goes through Corfali. It'd be people going from UIS. They'd have to go through to get to Scarab or to Hastro. They'd need to go through Corfali unless they wanted to deal with the Bro.
What I'm saying is that any fish that come from Marabia get sold at March, and then from March, somebody is taking a selection of food to Corfali. It's not a direct. This ship is going from Marabia through March to Corfali.
All right, so it's not possible to do this then?
You know what? I'm being perhaps a little bit too obstructive. Let's go ahead and put it to a roll.
Maybe they have a buddy. Maybe they have a buddy that goes there, right?
Yeah. Why don't we do a connect roll?
Okay.
You've got some time. We're playing loosey goosey with the time. And to your question, Meowkin, before I want to answer Meowkin's question. 3 days. It's been 3 days since you met Leo Ju's granddaughter.
Okay. I need to track my mods every now and then.
Yeah.
Can I help work on the connect roll actually?
You absolutely can. How does Percy help?
Fucking boots on ground. Everywhere has pubs. Hit the pubs. No doubt traders stop off for a drink. Fucking get work.
All right. What skill are you using? It cannot be connect.
Oh, is that a help roll? That's a shame. I thought. Damn it.
You could do exert for the drinking or performance.
I was gonna say I can help with the perform.
Okay.
No, I misunderstood. I thought it was like just connect rolls, and I was like, oh, I have a newly specialized connect roll. I can use that.
So yeah, I do make a fairly. I try to keep it consistent. It's not a hard rule, but I try to keep consistent. That if you're helping a roll, you don't get to roll the same skill as the roll that's being made, because then if you roll a 14 on your connect to help somebody else's connect and they roll a 6, it sucks.
That's the thing. I wasn't trying to help. I thought it was just an independent roll.
Oh, I see. No, I just want one roll for this. You guys can help. And if you want to be doing the primary, then Eclectic Memory over there could possibly give you a additional assist.
Are we okay with you being the primary? I have a good roll for this.
What is your roll for this?
3d6 plus 3. 3d6 keep highest 2 plus 3.
Yeah, why don't, if you're getting a 3d6, I can just provide the assistance with it. For me, like I can just use talk for this if I can I guess schmooze people and speak with like the captains that are passing through that I know are passing through and see if any of them can be convinced.
All right. And is Doug doing the perform help?
Sure, I'll perform a gig.
Nice.
Sure. Something that's kind of trade centric to try and draw in traders that you're, and maybe police centric too. Yeah.
Yeah, I call this one Trader Joe.
Yeah. All right. You're trying to attract the right crowd for Ooh.
Nope, that may not be the right crowd.
Oh dear.
Do you want to re-roll that? This is the only roll you're gonna make the scene.
I'm an expert. Yeah. It's been so long. I forgot that I'm an expert.
What, been so long since you rolled something, or so long since you failed something?
Right? Hey, you know.
Oh dear.
Well,
It could
Virgilia
just be an
helped.
8.
It's still +1.
I mean, that's right. This was a pretty niche roll, anyways.
Come on.
This was gonna be a difficult roll, yeah.
Come on, juiced up connect roll.
But it'll be nice if it works. Ooh.
That's
pretty good.
Gonna do it. Yeah.
Yes.
The difficulty was 12. Because I saw
Nice.
that this is such a tenuous trade connection that you're basically trying to find somebody who knows somebody who's going that way and gonna meet somebody else who's going that way. Yeah. But
Yeah.
Let's say it takes an extra day. Let's add a day onto this.
Okay.
If you guys are okay with that.
Mhm.
I don't think you're truly tracking
Let me see.
hugely tracking single days. But Doug's performance does help. It's not a complete waste there. There's a certain crowd that you're trying to draw. It isn't as targeted as would be particularly like useful in the numerical sense to give you that +1, but it is drawing the right crowd. You're just needing a little bit of Virgilia distraction to separate out where people come into conflict, because you are drawing cops to a bar on Shinobu. And Galactic Mandate has no authority here, or not drawing cops, but drawing cop sympathizers, I guess you'd say, to a bar. And Galactic Mandate has no authority here. UIS is fiercely independent. So Virgilia helps to de-escalate some of those things so that you can continue without the bar being shut down or an investigation. And in applying his connectedness, his ability to make connections through people and with people, Viral, why don't you give me an idea how you think this goes? You've got the Doug drawing a crowd and Virgilia de-escalating and helping to ferret out distractions that aren't helpful. So where is Percy coming in here?
Percy is social butterflying his way about the place. I'm gonna say, like, taking drinks with him, also buying drinks as he goes. I'm okay with deducting some credits for that. Just to, like, fucking soften attitudes and loosen lips, and just like spreading the word as much as possible, getting to know as many people as he can in as short a time as possible, and slide that question into the conversation as quickly as possible, so that he can speed up the time until he either knows or he's moving on to the next person.
Okay. Yeah.
Cash and cash, a little bit. Yeah, I have cash.
Sure. So
Okay.
go ahead and drop 25 credits. This isn't an expensive endeavor.
Yeah.
The credits is mostly symbolic, or actually asking you to take the credits off is mostly symbolic. I know that that's a tiny fraction of what you guys have.
Yeah.
And you meet a trader who's who knows a buddy with a regular route from Arabia to March, and meets with another trader that goes from March to Kurafali. They actually have a little bit of a supply chain going. And what do you want him to ask the trader to do?
I am going to ask how many credits I need to slip to this fine gentleman, with the understanding that someone will go to his friend for them to take a probe to. I assume I have the coordinates themselves. Not, I'm not getting specific coordinates, but like take it to a specific place in Core Valley, and just press the red button and then drop it.
Okay.
With the understanding that it's just a monitoring thing. We're just collecting some data. You understand?
Yeah. Just a monitoring thing.
I even managed to look at Essence as yet.
Do you though?
Definition of Essence. What passes for Essence on Percy?
A perform check.
Oh shit. Is that actually?
Yeah, go ahead and roll it.
Okay.
This won't undo or impact anything.
Okay.
He seems reasonably convinced that this is just some kind of scientific data collection thing. It wasn't going to impact his decision. He's getting paid.
Yeah.
So let's see. This is effectively. Do we have music? Did I lose all the music? I need music for this.
We appear to not have music for this.
Not have music for this. Let's get some strategy music going. This is effectively taking one merchant 2 days out of his way, as well as whatever explanations he needs to make for either being 2 days late if he does it first, or trying to juke the sensors or explain why he's going there if he delivers second, or if he delivers first.
I will mention that he can do it whatever way suits him. If it's more convenient for him to do it afterwards so that he's not delayed on his routes, then Godspeed. Doesn't need to prioritize that, you know.
He thinks his buddy is probably going to do it first and be late because well, that's actually I'm being silly. That there is fortification on the way in, so he's just going to do it. You're right. He's going to do it on his way out. Because you can leave from anywhere. Why not leave from that particular region? Right?
Yeah.
So
yeah, I will emphasize, it doesn't need to be top priority, ultra urgent delivery. Just soon.
So there isn't significant risk here. The guy you're talking to is asking for 5,000 credits.
That seems reasonable. That seems fairly reasonable.
All right, and then
I'm a generous mood. I'll make it 6.
He's very thankful for that. Then is Doug building a device for you?
I would like to think so. Yeah, Vacant? Poke. Are you there?
Oh gosh, dang hardware muting. I keep doing that.
Oh dear.
Anyways, yeah. What do you need from me for that? Because it's just basically a void hawk that can't move, right?
Yeah, this isn't anything complicated. Let's you know what? Let's do it this way. Go ahead and make a fix check. I'm gonna put the initial cost at 10 spare parts, and for every point you get above 10, we'll take 2 parts off.
Sure. Fix intelligence, yeah.
So roll a 15.
All right, so 8 spare parts.
Not bad.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Roll a 15. We somehow generated 2 spare parts from each.
This is a new scene, isn't it?
What's that, Varro?
This is a new scene, isn't it?
Yeah, we're effectively in all over the place on scenes.
Fair enough.
I'm just gonna pay the parts, y'all.
It is only 8 parts.
Yeah.
I can't justify this part of it being terribly expensive.
Yeah.
In fact,
just needs to sensor, battery, and recording.
Yeah. In fact, pulling aside the screen for a moment to the GM behind, the role is just so that the player is engaged and rolling something. That's really all that role is for.
Seems reasonable.
It is a psychological trick to keep you guys interested in my game.
Oh no, I've been japed.
GMs do that all the time. If you think this is a yeah. Okay. Damn it, Lulu, why you always gotta be going not just outside the box, but around it and turn it over and alright. Yes, you guys.
What do you mean? What have I done?
I was trying to just get you guys to the knocks and like say, let's go, and then you're like, but wait, we could do it here.
What if? We gotta.
I mean, it was either this or argue over which system we were going to for 15 more minutes.
I wanted that.
And eat it too.
I have no content, Lulu. I need the stalls.
In fairness, it was you that mentioned that we could send out a probe to Cork Valley.
I did. No, I apologize for being obstructive at the start, Lulu. I realized after you kept pushing on it that this was something of interest to you, and I should stop saying no and let the dice work it out. I think more GMs need to learn that skill, by the way, and including myself sometimes.
It's fine.
So yeah, no, you guys have created a probe. It looks perfectly innocent. Nobody's going to think that they're doing anything untoward.
And then we strap a laser to it.
Hold on, let me just put the white hole bomb in here.
Yeah.
And then we specifically do not do either of those things.
And then we put Beth and a system-wide broadcaster in it.
That's what we'll do. That's what we'll do when we're tired of Beth.
Yeah.
What, put her in a bomb? You think she'll go?
Maybe.
Yeah.
She don't have a body, so.
I doubt it. Quite.
Oh, well, I guess she kind of does now, doesn't she?
Yeah, a little bit.
And you have effectively gotten a transmitter, or will have a recording device in that region of space.
Nice.
Well, unless they don't follow through on their deal.
True.
I mean, I guess presumably that's what the rolls are for, but you never know.
I would like to think that they will.
The merchant could suffer a spike drill mishap.
Yeah.
That's relatively unlikely. If they're hired as a merchant, they're probably good enough.
They're also easy jumps with known rudders. I don't think they actually need to make a roll. Just making a quick note for myself. In court.
If they double cross us, I will find them.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to threaten them with what I'll do once I find them. It's more menacing that way.
If we get there, we find that probe's not there. We will find you and kill you. Now, you better already be dead.
Hey, no. If we get there and we find that the probe isn't there, we will find you.
Mm-hmm.
There.
And then we just
much
find
more
out.
menacing if you don't tell them what we're going to do when we find them.
Like horror. If you just imply that they should be scared of something, then they will fill in something scary themselves.
Yeah.
Or that's where the or else comes into play.
Exactly. So you get it.
All right. Is anybody typing anything on the player journal, or can I move you?
I think we're fine.
All right. Moving you back over to the map. Oh, that's why the music stopped, because the map starts new music. And Roll20 hasn't figured out how to stop music and start new music without breaking the new music, so it doesn't continue.
Very cool, very fun.
Yeah. That might all be fixed in Jump Kit, I don't know. I'm very worried about upgrading to that. I'm waiting for Meowkin to do it and tell me how awful it is.
How awful what is?
Jump Gate?
The music? Oh, I switched on my game, but I haven't actually done much with it.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it didn't seem awful. There's definitely some differences there. Yeah, I have not formed a strong opinion on it yet. But at the very least, I wasn't immediately like infuriated with it or anything. So at least there's that.
Good to know.
Is that like the modern running games thing from Roll20?
It's just it's a new version of Roll20 essentially.
Yeah.
Oh, I haven't noticed anything different at all. I'm just having a game in it.
Well, I do. Hopefully, because one thing I have in my comments, because I tend to have like it's like particularly like enemies that are like just predators. Like if there's like a pack of predators, like they'll start running away after a couple of them die. And so a lot of times I'll have enemies running off the screen,
right,
off the map, and it doesn't work very well with the. But the one thing with jump gate is it's supposed to let you basically take them off the map. Basically, you can go off the grid pretty easily with it, but I haven't had a chance to test it. Hasn't come up yet.
Okay.
That was one that I like. It's got some other things too, but they kind of changes the UI around.
All right. So, what route do you want to take to get to Cutie Security? Sorry, I'm cutting you off there, Malcolm.
No, go ahead. I was getting off on a tangent anyways.
You want to jump straight there?
I don't think we can yet, can we? Can we do a 4?
It's actually 5.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is it 5?
Oh, we can't do a 5. We can do a 4.
1, 2, 3,
Yeah, we can do a 4.
Oh, it is 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it?
The ruler is wrong, but it is 5.
I turned off the grid here. Let me turn it back on.
Oh, it's 4. Wait, right? 1.
It says 4, but it is actually 5.
Oh, yeah.
It's 4 to here, and then 5. Yeah,
the ruler should work now.
So now it's
That's
now the ruler
interesting. I'm
says it's
surprised
5.
the ruler was. I'm surprised the ruler is being weird about that.
Well, the ruler is locked to the grid. It doesn't know to count actual grid or squares or hexes unless you have the grid turned on.
Yeah, I know, but I was still if you do here and then drop a point like that, I thought it should still be correct.
That should have worked.
Yeah, I think it.
I know.
I think it had a weird.
Still saying like 4.2 there.
Huh.
Yeah, I think it had a weird distance for like the grid. I think it was counting based on a square grid rather than.
Oh,
maybe that could be.
And it had the size based on the width or something, and it was just very confused about how far things actually should be.
Oh well, it should be fine anyways.
Yeah, we'll just have to hold Alt whenever we need to place something off the grid, because otherwise, when I move the ship, it's going to do that.
Yeah.
And cover up the planet. Okay, so you wanted to. Sorry, you can't. You can't jump straight there.
Yeah, but Eligara is like a 2-hex jump.
You could jump to Eligara. It's not a terribly well-traveled planet because there's no services there. But I don't think that's actually gonna stop you. I don't think that'll impact you any.
Yeah,
no, we don't need services, right?
Yeah, we're assumed to have every 2-hex rudder. But maybe it'd be a better idea to go to Maribia just so that we can secure the 4-hex jump. Maribia Kiriti rudder.
More useful for him.
Probably a more valuable rudder for us.
We could also, we could also get some fish. I've heard about these fish.
Yeah, we do keep hearing about these fish. We should probably get some.
You're such a tourist.
I mean, eventually we're going to do stuff on Maribia proper. We can get fish on the way back.
Doug is absolutely a tourist.
We can get McDonald's on the way home.
Let's see. All right. Then yeah. It's a completely safe jump to Maribia, obviously, and you are at. You're gonna trim the course. There's no reason not to. So we're using the drive 8 speed of 0.375 hexes per day.
Yeah. Like if we did double trim the course, and then like also shorten the jump. I still don't have to roll
right now, right?
No, you don't. It should take 9 hours, I believe.
Yeah. Same day shipping.
Same day shipping. Jeez. Ah.
Yeah. We're only drive 3 though, right? Plus a bit
Oh,
for
right. I am calculating
being,
it as if. My bad.
yeah. I don't
3,
think
and then
it changes much. I think it works out as like 14, 15 hours instead of 9. But you know.
Yeah, that's
I'm
why it
saying,
was.
while we're at the Knox,
Oops, sorry. Go ahead.
I'm just saying, while we're at the Knox, we can get that fitting. Increase our speed by 1.
It would be hilarious.
Yeah.
It would be hilarious.
We would drive as if we were drive 6 before we were drive 6.
Yeah.
Oh, love it, love it.
So 0.6 days per hex is Kana's current speed, which is about 14.5 hours. So just a few more hours, for a few more hours longer, you get to Maribia. And do you stop for the fish or do you jump straight out?
We don't need to stop for the fish, y'all.
That'll add a full day.
Yeah, let's just
Yeah.
It'll take us longer to get the
unless
fish
they
than it
really
would to
want firearms,
jump
unless they really want the energy weapons here, let's just go.
We could check,
It's like
but
shooting fish in
somehow
a
I
barrel.
doubt it.
I doubt it.
They do not have any tags that would be beneficial for selling firearms.
Mm.
What about harpoons?
You remember that?
I mean, it's not hard to infer.
They have +1 to consumer and +2 to astronautic.
Yeah, let's just move on.
Either.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I do have to roll for this because we almost certainly don't have a rudder.
You don't have a rudder for this jump, no. So you're at.
What I would also like to know real quick before we do this is, what does the elite Red Dragon Guard that we have, do they say anything about the fact that we're in Maribia as fast as we are?
They are not very
Like, we have them
talkative.
along. Okay.
Yeah.
Did we bring Myokin and Kami to their attention? Is great. I feel like that should have been a scene.
I don't. Why would we?
Let's go a little bit further away if we are going to do that. Well,
Yeah,
because do you really want to spend the whole time avoiding him?
I mean, not avoiding him, but we could just be doing our thing. I imagine he's on the bridge at some point.
Yeah.
So
that seems reasonable. Yeah, but like.
I think Firewall's bringing it up.
Yeah, I mean, there was the
Shira
thing
did
about,
ask for introductions.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, that was a thing. We should have. This is a fine point. After you've made your first jump to illustrate, that you're a very skilled pilot. We should make the introduction, like, sort of. Hey, we introduce you to everyone else. Here is our pilot, Myokin Kana, who got us here like 6 times faster than any other pilot could.
Okay.
Not that exactly, but something like that.
then what about Kami?
We can do that while he's like surveying the ship. Just keep track of where Kami is and either watch for when they cross paths or engineer across their paths. But yeah,
Okay.
I don't know. We should probably also tell him, like, after both of them, like, I swear this is everyone. You don't need to worry about anyone else. Just yeah.
Are you informing her in advance?
We should. We really, really should.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's
we
not
should,
saying that
we should talk to both of
Yeah.
them and check that they're actually okay with the plan before we do it.
Yeah, it's true.
I suspect they will be, but we should check.
Yeah.
Well,
Is Myokin okay with that?
As I said, I need content, so let's have that scene.
Yeah,
I am half kidding about that.
yeah.
But I'm absolutely okay with having a scene. I think it would be interesting to see.
I mean, yeah, I was okay with making a scene, but then you said the guy wasn't very talkative, so I'm like, okay, we'll just describe it.
So he is.
I think it's the scene of talking to Canna about it, right?
Okay, yeah. Yeah, we should, yeah.
And then after that, I'll give you a little bit more description of what I mean by he isn't very talkative. But right now, talking to Kana and or Kami is something you're doing independent of him and his quietness. And so, do you want to talk to them together or separately?
Separately is.
Kana and Kami, I mean.
Yeah, separately is easier. However, it would be probably easier to explain the whole thing and see if they have any questions or give each other any ideas for questions at the same time. So fuck it, let's do it together.
Okay.
Lulu, I will be drafting Virgilia for this one. You were in that meeting as well. And
okay.
Yeah, you are a therapist. Remember that.
yeah.
You want me to move you over to the conference room there, Knox, or can you do it?
I can probably do it once I find where I am in this sheet.
You are currently in the Dark Horizon box near the bottom.
Okay.
Same with Kana.
Oh, I moved Ava.
I don't mind moving Kana. It's my mouse is already over her.
I found it.
Yeah. Virgilia, I'm not letting you out of this one. And is Percy there?
Probably.
Anyone else want to be in this conversation?
Intervention.
Yeah, what is this, an intervention?
A little bit.
Yeah, you've got a tea problem. We're cutting you off.
Oh god. She would pilot us into a star, you know this.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll pilot us eight hexes off the map.
Drive us
We'll
8
never
hexes
find
off the
the
map.
wreckage.
That is
Drive us 8 hexes.
Go ahead.
She'll drive us 8 hexes off the map and then shoot herself. We will never get back.
That is an effective way of discovering a new sector because the mishap is only a star 1d6 hexes away.
What happens if there's no stars within 6 hexes?
Immediate mishap, I think.
Explosion.
I don't think you can you? Can you jump that far? I know you can do the jump time as if you have that drive, but I don't know that you can get a drive level.
No, I can drive 7 hexes away.
Right.
Okay. So you could jump
Still above
7 hexes, and then there isn't a star within 1d6 hexes. Yeah. So what happens then?
The ship just explodes.
Right. Okay.
That's the end.
I guess
a new cycle begins.
Downgraded on the mishap until it's one that can actually happen.
All right. So Virgilia and Percy are talking to have called Kana and Kami in. Have you given them any idea of what they're being called to talk to, or did you just tell them come to the conference room?
It's to do with the Shinobi administrator on the ship.
Okay. Now Kami hasn't actually talked to anybody except for Kana, and the talking there was in silence, but was a kind of silent agreement. Percy is only able to target Kami because of activities.
Yeah, I didn't really hear much of her thoughts on this at all. Yeah.
She hasn't given much of her thoughts on it. You just
surprise
know
me,
that she switched with some people to put herself in more difficult, but also more out of the way ship positions or jobs.
That's okay.
Kami does look a little bit concerned as she's coming into the conference room. She sits down and quietly waits.
Okay.
Is this after we start the jump? Before we start the jump?
This is, I believe, after you've gotten into Maribia, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Wait, time shenanigans. No, I guess. Oh, it's whatever. Like, I feel like if he's been on the ship since before we left, he would have been on the bridge sometime in the last, 14 hours.
Possible. But if he hasn't said anything. Remember, this is just meeting
Okay.
with Percy and Virgilia. Masanu isn't with you here.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. What I'm saying is he would have been a recognized element at least by Miokin before now, if he's shown up.
Yes, he has.
Unless he's in disguise.
Yeah, you easily recognize who he is. Or, well,
Okay.
not specific name, but you know what he is.
Yeah,
It's all over his uniform.
Great.
So,
The secret flower language.
yeah, pretty much. Kana, and probably also Kami, recognize that there is a very high-ranked Imperial Naval Forces, not general, but guard, soldier on the ship. I guess I should ask, does Kana go to the meeting?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Well, Viral, Percy's got Kami and Kana there. Lulu, who starts speaking first?
I'm not sure.
So I know this is good in, but it's good news mostly. Mostly, yeah. Mostly good news.
Mm-hmm.
From either of them?
I'm sorry, what was that?
Any reaction from either of them?
Kami is... Well, go ahead and roll me wisdom notice. You can do the same, Lulu.
One of these days I will get to roll notice for something that isn't wisdom. Give me strength notice. Oh dear.
Hate food. Constitution notice. Is it bad?
So, Kami is stressed and worried. This is for Virgilia. Sorry, Viral.
That's it.
Kami is showing signs of stress and nervous anxiety on this, and is, you can probably tell, deliberately keeping a flat face here.
I was gonna say, Ryoka's doing much the same. Keeping it terse.
Yep.
That's fair.
Okay. Really, it will be fine. I'm sure you've already noticed the guest we have on board.
Yep. It's
hard not to.
So, the arrangement that we have with the Dragon General is that this person is here first and foremost to observe Elise and what she's doing and how she's acting in service of the Raza. If it turns out that she's being good and honourable and an effective crew member and so on and so on, and the Raza is working towards UIS attendance, then she can essentially. There was some Percy looks at Virgilia. There was some sort of post-mortem thing that can actually be exoneration that can be awarded pre-mortem. It's weird.
Think of it as an exoneration. Her situation is a little bit different than the one we're about to discuss anyway.
For you two, it's well. No, Percy wouldn't say for you two. It would be okay for you. It's actually simpler. Essentially, we're going to introduce you to the soldier. He has been ordered in no uncertain terms to not execute people on sight, and if he tries to, it will shoot him in the leg or possibly the arm. We will see, and we'll take it up with the Dragon General.
He has been ordered to stay any execution.
Yes.
Yes, he has.
Kami visibly relaxes.
There's another factor too. If everything goes well with the little agreement we have with UIS, then it will turn out that you two never were in a position such that was even a consideration of a risk.
Yeah, whatever it was that caused the problem in the first place, actually it wasn't. Or at least that's what the record will show.
Should have known you would find out.
Honestly, I didn't. I haven't. I still don't know what it is, but whatever it is, it's okay. Dragon General says it's okay. We smile and nod and go, "Thank you, sir. Praise be the Dragon General," and don't get executed.
She shrugs a little and says, "It is just very illegal to leave service before you've finished."
Well, it's a good thing you never left service then, right?
Wink, nudge, nudge.
Right. But yeah, that's essentially what it'll be. Retroactively, you never left service.
Right. Because you've been working with us. And that's how we're going to deal with it. And yeah.
Ultimately, what looked like leaving service was actually setting you on the path that brings you here, where you're working with us for UIS. Circles back round. Right? Or something like that. Milken, you're very quiet. What's on your mind?
Nothing. I'm good. Sorry, I was typing something else.
Getting distracted during the session. I thought you wanted to stay focused, Nox.
Do you want to have a moment to think about Miyokun's response? Or does she actually have no response there?
Ryokun's mostly just like thinking.
Okay.
Like you're visibly thinking.
Kami does have a question to fill the silence then. Does this mean that... Wait. Are you opposed to the regime change of the Imperialist movement?
Who is she asking here?
She's asking you two.
I have basically no opinion on it, actually.
I don't know enough to have an opinion. I shoot things. No, that's reductive, but yeah, I didn't study up enough to have a major opinion. Like, from a very personal perspective, Tajimashiro is willing to hear us out in a way that others in positions of authority generally aren't. So, him getting a high ranking position is good for us.
Hold
on, the regime that he stands for, I don't know enough, honestly.
Are our actions furthering an expansionist goal or peaceful?
Now, hold on, Dex. Have we told the rest of the crew the situation yet?
The situation?
Which one?
The one where the universe is going to end.
No, I don't believe that conversation has happened yet.
It's come up. Kwana found out about it. Remember?
Kwana found out about it.
I can't remember if we told the rest of the crew yet.
Shit.
Did you?
No, I'm sure we did at some point because it was like there was something happened that we went. You should probably tell them.
Okay,
Shit, I don't
okay.
remember what it was.
I'll accept that. I'll accept that. Because I do also vaguely remember Kuana having resolved her own issues by that time and being, you know, a a figure of it's okay for others. I don't know if that's a made up memory, but I have that memory.
Okay.
So okay, so then yes, she is vaguely aware of the situation, and she is still concerned about this regime change.
Well, strictly speaking, we're trying to prevent the universe from reverting.
If the universe reverts, then our dishonor is erased.
Well, no, because you just end up back in the same place again, usually.
I want to know if we in Naraza are helping Shinobu to expand imperialistically or to maintain peace.
What we are currently doing, or what we're currently trying to do, is get both Shinobu and Union to put their guns down for 5 fucking minutes while we stop the universe from ending. That's what we're trying to do right now.
She nods quietly.
That's why that's why we're cutting off Tiamat. In fact, partly we're forcing Union not to do anything rash, and partly we're encouraging Shinobu that they don't need to do anything rash because we're forcing Union to not do anything rash. No time for discussing stuff like this when you're at war, so we don't let them go to war. And he shrugs a little bit.
Hey, thank you.
Percy nods. I just realized you couldn't see me do that, but Percy nods.
Kami seems content with this response.
Huh.
How is Miss Myokin doing on that thinking thing?
Myokin has simple needs. As long as at the end of this, we are able to stay here rather than go back, Myokin is fine with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Of course, we're essentially independent contractors. We the Raza. So, yeah.
Because Myokin's whole reason for leaving had nothing to do with the political stuff and everything to do with the fact that Myokin's job was boring and unchallenging.
Yeah, no, you can. At this point, we wouldn't want to split ways with you. You know that.
All right. Kami has nothing else to say. Does Myokin?
No.
Virgilia or Percy?
Yeah, actually. If they're okay with it, should we bring Misa in here for the introduction? Are you two okay with that?
Too soon.
Okay.
She just says quietly, almost under her breath, but intended for your ears. Too soon.
Okay. Is tomorrow okay, or should we give it a couple more days?
I've seen him on the bridge. I'm sure I'll see him on the bridge again.
You'll need to see him before you're involved in anything major, I think.
Kami kind of looks at all of them, glancing at Kana twice before turning back to Virgilia and Percy to respond. I will send him an invitation for tea.
Okay.
Great.
Let us know if you want one of us or anybody else there?
No.
Okay.
I'm sorry, did you say no in response?
Yes, she did.
Yes.
Beautiful. Action distilled in the conversation.
um.
Yeah.
Nox,
Have you two had tea? You two have had tea, haven't you?
Oh, what was that a question?
Oh, just quietly asking. You two have had tea, haven't you?
Kami does not respond.
No, like I'm asking. I'm asking the player.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. I'm halfway through my monster.
Fair. Yeah, I'm asking the player. Nox, have you two had tea? You two have had tea, haven't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nox, why don't you roll me a what's your most relevant military base skill? Pilot, I imagine?
Yeah.
No. Okay. Go ahead and roll me a
More than military pilot.
let's go with a wisdom pilot skill check. This is going to be very off the cuff, and I can already imagine many GMs yelling at me for like, why the hell is this a pilot check? But let's just use it. If this isn't a pilot check, we are making this a military rank skill check, and substituting that's equivalent to your pilot skill. There we go.
Do I still get specialist?
Oh, I guess I can't do weird substitution stuff. Yeah, it's just a pilot skill check.
Okay.
Although I guess that would be a better question to tell you whether you get specialist or not would be, you think kind of paid attention to the to military type stuff. But the rule's been made, and I'm just gonna go with it. It was kind of a scuffed idea, anyways. But if you want her to have that kind of, she was also in ninja training, that kind of bodily assessment of someone, and also knowledge of various like jobs within the military, based on Kami's performance in uh I can't even remember his name. Your previous character. Oh my goodness, I can't remember his name.
Wait, which previous character? Charlie?
No, your first character in this campaign.
Oh,
Old guy.
John.
119.
119, yes. She certainly heard about the kind of ship war that he did, the training exercises. And based on Kami's performance in that, I think Kana could potentially recognize that she was a Marine Scout in the INF.
Okay.
They're very they're the free runners. They're very quick, supposed to be able to be quiet and stealthy as well, obviously. And that seems like that was probably the job that she was put into, because she's very good at it and she carries herself with a little bit of that demeanor.
Okay.
And so that will be a tea ceremony between her and Mawson later. Anything else you guys want out of this scene? I've got another scene before I let you guys actually get to the Nox.
I think I'm okay with this scene.
All right. Doug and Das are being called to the shuttle bay, or the fighter bay.
Ooh, terrifying.
Cheers.
Okay.
Note made. Let me fix my
Who's
character
calling?
sheet.
Dark Horizon is calling.
Oh no.
Hi, Beth.
Beth.
What does Beth want?
I've been
Beth
thinking
wants-
we should talk. I've been thinking we should talk to Beth more. Like, such an interesting potential character, and we just haven't really interacted with her.
I have moved you guys along past things you could have been doing a bit, so I will take the blame for that. But she's
Yeah,
reaching
right,
out
right,
now.
Yeah, well, I guess we should see. I mean, I already got rid of the corpse fridge.
Oh, you know what? I
Oh,
take
wait.
back. It's not Dark
that-
Horizon, Colin. It's Bob.
Yeah, well, actually, now I think about it, Beth might be upset about losing Bob. We didn't think
Right?
about that.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
Oh, shit.
find out.
This be funny.
How do Das and Doug arrive in the fighter band? Do you think it's at the same time? One of them get there first?
Much as I want to drag my feet, I feel like Doug's not gonna. I mean, Doug, that's not really Doug's style. So
But this should be fun.
yeah, sure, fine.
What about Das?
I think reasonably fast. Probably not quite as fast as Doug.
Yeah.
He probably finishes whatever she's doing and then heads over, but not like super slow.
Okay. So Doug's alone with Beth for a moment, or at least is alone in the fighter bay with the Dark Horizon ship.
Yeah. All right, Beth. What is it?
He took Bob. Why did they take Bob?
We can't just be keeping corpses around the ship.
Bring me a new corpse.
Is this gonna be a thing, Beth?
Bob was my friend. You don't understand. Bob was my only friend.
Hey,
Bob was a meat
Chris?
popsicle.
Can we just move the chess guys to the Dark Horizon for a little bit?
Oh, that's an idea, actually. Yeah, corpses that can actually talk back. It's really funny, actually.
Would you say that Das is arriving about now?
Plausibly.
Okay.
Yeah, as Doug says, like Bob was just a meat popsicle.
But he was my meat popsicle.
Oh, hey, Das. I'm not sure you should be here for this conversation, actually. Why'd you want Das?
You two. From what data I could gather, were part of the first cycle.
All right. And
I wanted to talk. I mean, is that okay?
I mean, sure, but it's like, yeah, it's like it wasn't me. So far as I understand it, I certainly don't remember it. Heck, I don't remember nothing from this quote unquote cycle.
So, I don't have much data from it, so I can't really compare. But I'd like to think that if you were part of the first cycle and you're here again, then you're important.
I mean, ain't just about everyone here that was from the last cycle?
What?
I thought it
No,
was,
that's
you know,
silly.
I thought everything was the same. We all had, all the same people were here, except for maybe.
No.
And,
No. Everyone
No?
is different from the last cycle. Everyone.
Oh, well, I mean, I guess I don't know nothing about it.
But the first cycle had Das and Doug.
Right, but what's that got to do with this cycle? I mean, I guess right. Yeah, we're reporting yada yada. But what's that? I mean, what am I supposed to do with that?
I managed to put together some of the corrupted data. I
Go
heard you
on.
guys are going to Onalau, and I thought it could be useful to you.
Interesting. What you got?
And that. See, where am I putting these? Am I leaving them in discussion? Have I been putting them in discussion? Yes, I have. Okay, fantastic.
Also, okay, knocking.
And
Knocking
that's
backseat.
formatting. So, oops, wrong button. Will be. And Control B. And that's the teaser bit. And then there's this and that. So Beth acknowledges that she has put together some of the archived and fragmented and corrupted data from that was stored with her from the last cycle, and she asks to see your data pads. Well, not see. She requests permission to send the information to your data pads.
Definitely.
I think I may have just covered up whatever Nox just typed.
Not bad. Find that shit.
It was fine.
Okay, yeah,
I just had an idle thought.
Yo, the first colony information.
And relevant here is that you find the reason that she's well, one of the other reasons that she says that she's bringing this up is that if you're planning to go to Onalau, it's very dangerous. And suggests that you install a drop pod so that you can perform the hope fall. A cargo lighter would be smashed to bits in the hope fall.
Okay.
However, Dark Horizon may also be able to accomplish it.
Okay. Okay. Huh.
Oh, I guess I did write that the technique could also be adapted to a cargo lighter. So a cargo lighter would be smashed to bits without some adaptations and additional difficulty.
Couldn't I just shield it on the way down?
You'd be able to shield the people inside. I mean that would probably work, yes. But it would still probably destroy the lighter itself. But yeah, that's.
I'm just gonna shoot a note to Natario and say, "Hey, good work last cycle."
So I feel like I don't quite follow. So the first Terran Mandate colony was that the New Terra or the Tower? The Tower, right?
New Terra and the Tower are both planets within Onalau.
Okay. Yeah, I got that. Yeah.
And let's see, if I remember right, yeah, the Tower was first inhabited, and then New Terra was going to be developed up as the not tourist location, but where the rich and powerful lived in luxury.
Right, and those are the colony, and the jump gate was used to get to them, and the jump gate has since catastrophically failed. Cycle 2 Vaza managed to get there somehow?
Well, this is all in Onalau, is a system that you were already planning to travel to.
Yeah, that's why I'm confused.
Yeah, the jump gate is only relevant for as far as Terran mandate way back before jump gates were all destroyed by the Scream.
You know what? This question. The first Terran Mandate colony established in Artemis Black was subsumed by them for world centuries ago. It still hosts human survivors. Can we get there?
Yes.
Okay, how exactly? That's the bit I'm not quite getting.
That is a spike drill to Onalau, and then a descent onto the planet, the tower.
A hopeful. Okay, a hopeful?
Hopeful is your safest way, according to Beth.
Yeah.
Because she's saying that energy sources attract entity attention.
Yeah.
Oh, I think I know why it's called the Hopeful.
Yeah, no engines.
Because you shut everything off and hope.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
I don't like it.
If the planet was in the if the first colony was subsumed by the Emperor world, then how is it reachable? Essentially. Like how is the planet
with
there?
this new data, and you'd planned on going to Onalau anyways because you'd heard that it was subsumed, but with this new data, that subsumption leaves the planet physically in real space, but also kind of within a system-wide portal. It basically becomes kind of real space and the infraworld, or at least a very weakened veil or barrier to the infraworld.
So what you're saying is that Onalau in general is kind of slightly in, but also mostly out of the slightly in the infraworld, but also out of it enough that we can go there still. And don't get too close to the center that are attract the entities. Okay. With that much time passed, they must have done some really interesting research on tech that interfaces with the infraworld. Cough, cough, drive, cough, cough.
The data from Cycle 2 does not support that. The residents on the tower were barely surviving.
You know what? That makes sense, actually. That makes a lot of sense. Still, I do wonder how the infradrive will react to Onalau. Isn't it convenient that the plan was all ready to install it before we go there? Yeah.
It does seem awful convenient that Beth has managed to restore this corrupted data right as you're talking about going there.
Yeah. So it's almost like Beth is a conveniently placed GM info provider.
Or like maybe Beth is hiding things.
Or that. Could be both.
The GM would never conveniently place an info provider.
Why would Dick make anything convenient for us?
You heard me argue against Lulu for like 5 minutes before finally realizing that he was right. So she's taken a more serious tone as she's talking this over with Doug and Das. She still has the annoyed teenager kind of flat tone, but she is at least being more serious and not talking about Bob the Screaming Head.
Well, I might have to. I mean, I'll see if I can do something for you. Thanks for getting this, put this back together, Beth.
No. Sure, screaming murder and death and stuff. I guess I'm just worried.
worried about us going down a lot?
I'm worried about becoming too human, damn it. No, I mean, yes, because it's dangerous.
Well, I'm sure. Don't worry. I don't think you care or nothing.
Thank you. Now get out of here, stinky humans.
Oh, she cares.
I must mourn the loss of my Bob and the conversations we never had.
No, it wasn't a stunning conversationalist, anyways. I'll walk off.
I think the fact that he's like a human but quiet is why she likes him so much. Like, I'm just spitballing, but
I think Beth is just Cinderella.
oh, wait, are you only just noticing?
I didn't know. Wow, becoming more clear.
All right, let me link it on the point. All right, you got more information out of Beth.
Yay.
Yeah. Yeah. When do you spread that to the rest of the like? I assume you mention it to the rest of the team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course. I'll pass it along to your compads. Look, new data from Beth.
New data from Beth?
New data from Beth.
I thought she.
Oddly on
thought she
topic.
Yeah, I thought she said most of the stuff was unrecoverable.
I mean, I suspect that Beth didn't, just didn't really like the idea that Beth couldn't do something.
Hmm. Huh. You said thank you, right?
Yeah. Of course I did.
Okay. Okay.
And then, I just told Beth that, it's like we understand that you don't actually care about us.
Okay, good. I was worried that you weren't speaking sarcasm to the level that she seems to require, but yeah, no, that sounds fine.
I mean, in a weird way, it was genuine. I don't know. It's hard. It's just hard with Beth sometimes.
Yeah, I feel that.
All right. Anything else coming from that scene?
Don't think
Does
so.
it include anything about the difficulties just in general of the space?
Yeah, I think it does.
Okay, so maybe Doug should be especially while we're in the shipyard, looking at solutions there.
Yeah. Well, wait a minute. When you say difficulties of space, you mean like traversing it?
Like, yeah, while and seeing. I feel like that was something there. I might be wrong.
And the what?
What was and being able to see things essentially from the ship?
Oh, gotcha. What I'd kind of forgotten about that.
Yeah. Well, we have the smaller scale other space detector.
Mm-hmm.
Infra space detector, or whatever we called it. I think it was other space detector, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's what Zoe named it. Cycle 2. God damn it, Zoe.
Right.
I gave you a name for the thing, for the place, and you're like, it's called Other Space Detector.
Well, we need a bigger other space detector.
Yes. That is included in the data that you got, is that because it's partially in the infraworld, it is more difficult to navigate the ship. slightly more difficult. It's not a huge factor, but being able to detect infraworld incursions and see more of what that is would certainly be helpful. More of the data talks about warnings that you were given by locals, or that the Cycle 2 was given by locals, about sleeping within when you're effectively in the infraworld.
Interesting.
And it is also something that Zoe personally experienced. Actually, a few of the crew personally experienced it. Where upon sleeping, they kind of went into a very vivid dream world. Zoe's experience in particular felt like it was giving her a choice between leaving this place, leaving reality, and going into the infraworld, or staying in the harsh reality of real space. It was actually giving her a choice to die in her sleep.
Wild. Huh. Interesting. So,
I'm going to let you ponder over that information over the course of the week and see what kind of adjustments you want to make to the ship, or what if you want to do any mods to it. Let you ponder those over the week. And also, any questions you have, please feel free to ask. If you're doing it all in planning, if you're asking me a question, make sure to let me know that you're asking me a question, because I still try to keep myself uninvolved in your planning discussions unless you need information from me. And except to prompt the discussions, of course. And let's get you flying to Hirti. It is a difficulty 15 pilot check. Fortunately, it's with intelligence and not wisdom, or dexterity, whichever you prefer. Can't remember whether you do dex or intel. Oh, you can't do spike drills with the dex, can you?
The long-term mental thing mostly, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, clearly not an issue.
Yep.
And right, the pilot wisdom wouldn't have had your plus drill bonus from Starfarer. That's why it was only a 14 and not higher. All right, so 2.4 days later, Kami has invited the Red Dragon Guard to tea. And the result of that ceremony, unless any of you ask, neither Kami nor Masamu are discussing it.
I don't know if Percy would ask. Would Miokin ask?
Oh, what was that, Nox?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear the statement for the question.
Go ahead, Farrell.
Kami had her meeting with the Great Dragon Guard. Would anyone poke a nose at how it went? Would you?
I didn't hear any of it.
Let me translate that for you, Nox. Kami had her tea with the Red Dragon Guard, and neither of them are talking about it. Would Miokin ask?
Actually, Miyoko would have asked before the tea happened, if they wanted like her space for it.
because Kami does not have her own personal assigned quarters. She does not want to use Kana's personal room, but if it's because it's been brought up, she does ask if she can use a private conference room or some kind of private space for it.
Sure.
Okay. Kana, of course, has no difficulty arranging that. Oh my goodness.
I apologize.
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
I said I started saying something and then I trained.
We heard that.
Is that we'll ask about it
Yeah.
later.
Okay.
Okay. Then
Sorry.
no problem. Then that is something we will start next session with.
Nice.
Anything else you guys want to do, or any other scene you want to have to close out the session?
Nothing springing to mind, personally.
All right. We've got a couple minutes left. Do you have any questions that have come to that are at the tip of your tongue, about Onalau, the Beth information?
Well, I was about to get a lot more interesting. I'm really curious to see if we change the nature of the game when we get the Drive 6. Experimenting with Infodrive while we're in Metaspace is probably not a good idea. Experimenting with it in Onalau also probably not a good idea. Yeah, gonna be interesting.
Yeah.
It's also gonna be really fun with like having the Red Dragon Guard along. Just like he's gonna report back like, do you have any idea how much shit these people get themselves involved in?
Yeah, almost absolutely. Yeah. All right. Well, we'll end today's session with about 2.5 days later, you arrive in Kuchihirti in an arrival zone that is not fortified, it does not have any beacons or sensors or ships waiting at it. I'll add this rudder to the Stars Without Number map a little bit later. You see the system laid out before you. You recognize your ship sensors can see that there are clusters of ships around Kuchihirti. Your system sensors also recognize the Nox as a at least capital class sized hull. It's a space station essentially, but it is a buzzing center of activity, as the premier space station or shipyard in the sector, even if it's all the way up here in the corner. And if you squint hard enough, you swear you can see the bright neon lights coming off of Thurid in the distance. And we'll end there.